お姉さんがついてるからね。
Hello, chat room. How's it going? How are you guys? Hello, Compensable Argentum, Strawberry Wyvern, Alan, Pyros, Volskit, Cybernetics. I reached 250. Also, Wind Exo Wonder 20. Nice, congratulations. How is everybody? Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Time for 500 questions. We'll see. I'll answer any questions that come by, so feel free to ask them. Alright, let's do Skyleap. I come with the most crazy thing I think that came with the Steam release. Okay, K-Team, what's up? Let me hear it. Let me do this. I got some nice stuff, but I'm down 75. In other news, I get to brain off an Hexa. I see. We have an in-game filter, it seems now. Unsure how specific it is. In-game filter. What does that mean? In-game filter. Let me see. I need to buy pendants. The word filter? Wait, there's a word filter? Surely if I only have one Divine General left on the selector, I should just grab it. Well, waiting is always better, because once again, roulette doesn't know what you've picked and what you haven't. So it's best to wait if you don't want a dupe. And a dupe is not very helpful. 20 trigger. My crewmate got unable to send his raid help message when Steam released. Unable to send his raid help message. Oh, what did it have? Was it really bad? No longer allowed to say anything when asking for backup. That's not true. I was literally watching a new player just a moment ago who was sending messages in backup. So that is clearly not true. Are birthday weapon tickets still relevant? I don't see anyone talking about it since last year. I actually just released a YouTube video this morning. I would go recommend checking that out. It's the latest one. But ultimately, the weapon tickets are just they're lazy tickets. You can farm anything on that ticket. It mainly just comes down to what you don't want to farm or what you want first. Crewmate is this guy. This message is banned now. I see. Okay. And this is outside of Steam too, right? Well, you say crewmate, so there's no way they're a new player. So yeah, it's outside of Steam. Interesting. I wonder if this is probably just an English filter because, you know, unfortunately, people love doing shit like that. But I guess, yeah, the age of funny meme messages there, or, you know, the actual bad actors might be upon us, I suppose. Fencer, Pilgrim, Venerator. Hello, everybody. It's probably because they had to include our age rating with the Steam release. That, you know, makes sense. Do you guys reckon Japan has a similar filter? Probably not, because it's not out in Japan, right? Troubadour. Where's Troubadour? Monk. Into Longstrider. Into Sharpshooter and Forester. These hosts are so annoying. I hate them. I hate them. Hello, Saito. Let me see. Summer, I, and Jin. Hey, DY, what's the minimum damage you have to do to get weapons to drop in raids? Yeah, it looks like our Wyvern site has already replied. Sorry, I was buying things. But yeah, the amount that you need to do changes per raid. So there isn't an obvious answer. If you're hosting the raid, you don't have to do any damage. So that's the benefit of hosting a raid. When you're hosting, you don't need to do any damage. But if you're joining and trying to do damage on other people's raids, it depends on the raid itself. So it's hard to say without knowing exactly which raid. But in general, for valuable weapons, you will need to hit a blue chest. The weapon is in what's called a blue chest. And for that, you need a minimum honor contribution. That you can find on the wiki. So let's pretend you're doing Tiamat M1. You can go to the wiki. You can go to the wiki. You can go to Tiamat. You can search Tiamat. That takes you to the character. But up here it says Tiamat Raid. And then there's a bunch of different difficulties for Tiamat. But the first one, where there are actually blue chests, is Extreme, I believe. No, not even Extreme. So Extreme doesn't have it. It's only Impossible. So Impossible has this blue chest here. It says you need to do 18.5%, which is about 260,000 honors. So you can check that way. But pretty much, as you can tell, the early ones, you actually don't need to, like there's no blue chest. Blue chest is pretty much a mechanic for any raid that is in the Impossible tab. These ones, not really. I don't think there are actually any blue chests here. It's only Impossible and above. What do I think about the special step up, specifically getting a grant? I think it's good if there are missing characters that you really want. That's a good purchasable. For some people like me, if you have everything, then it's much less worth. Are the perfectly normal allegations from the thumbnail accurate? Of course they are. Why would I lie? Why would I ever lie? Oh, casino. Let's do bingo. What do I think of Lancer? Lancer's a little weird. I think if you want to do like one-turn stuff, certain elements can just do it way better because you just have naturally like fire or axe weapons that you naturally put in your grid. Like for example, fire weapons. Oh, did I say fire? I meant spears and axes. Fire has 5 spears and axes that you basically include. 2 overriders, 2 crimson scales, 1 opus. So you don't even have to think about it for fire. Whereas elements like dark or wind, you actually have to think about what you're doing. If you're taking a longer rotation, let's say 3 turns, then it matters less because you have enough spears and axes to get max stacks by the time you want. But for some other elements, it's a little bit harder to get these things. So it's a little bit more restrictive in that sense. It is definitely more of a burst class or short burst class. It's not like Fighter Origin where it excels in longer content. I don't really see Lancer being good in that role as of right now. But yeah, that's sort of what I see. What's the situation with Lancer? In a vacuum, yeah, it's good. In a vacuum, yeah, it's good. Like Fires is the best PBHL at the moment, as far as I know, and that is with Lancer Origin. Is this in context of primal grids? When I was talking about fire grids, yes, that was a primal grid. I haven't really looked at magna grids at the moment, but basically, you only really want 5 stacks if you are using unlimited, whatever it's called, unlimited ruckus. I don't know, something. What's the skill called? You only care about 5 stacks if you're using either Unbound Charge or Unlimited Infinite Trouble. Sorry, there we go. Unlimited Ruckus. Infinite Trouble or Unbound Charge. If you're using these, you want level 5. And the only way to get level 5 on turn 1 is to have 5 axes and spears combined in your grid. So some elements just do that easier. Some elements you got to get out of your way and it's not worth it. So I think it just depends on what what weapons are available for the particular element you're talking about to see whether it's worth it. Okay, change it to Ruckus right now. Not as good as Fighter. I see. While I agree with you, I don't like statements like that because it sort of makes it seem like you use Fighter whenever you would want to use Lancer, but that's not how the Granblue works. Right? Even bad classes like Sage see use in very specific situations, right? And Lancer is way better than a class like that. So, yes, I think for the general playstyle that most people have, Fighter is better than Lancer. And Lancer comes with the inherent restriction of wanting to stack spears and axes in your grid. But I do think that ultimately it's fine. Like it's not a bad class, and I don't think we should actually be comparing like that. Did you try any more of the ROM PBHL? No, I didn't, but I've seen numbers and I've seen what the situation sort of looks like, and we can test some now. Last night PBHL was sort of crazy, so I didn't really care for it. Wizard will kill both though. No, I don't think it will, or at least I don't think they'll intentionally do that. Infinite Trouble being only one time is pretty annoying when FO exists. I think they played it too safe. Once again, with spear classes, and I think it's because it's also an axe class and there are some problematic axes in the game, they were a little conservative. Once again, which is annoying. I think this skill could have been one turn. I think it would have been okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just severely underestimating this. I think this could have been one turn and I think it would have been fine. I also think that it didn't need the restriction of you only get one side of the effect when the cooldown is 12 turns. Right? I think when the cooldown's 12 turns, it would have been fine if you just get both spear and axe effects from now on. The fact that it's only spear and axe the first time you click means that even for longer content, you don't really want to bring the skill because it's only it only does something once essentially, or you only get the full benefits once. And it's not like Apsaris even has good other spear axe skills to warrant MC's passive to activate both spear and axe effects once. There's not enough good skills here to even warrant that, right? So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Hello, I'm a new player on Steam. Which roulette is better, idealist or realist? They are both expected value wise the same. It's up to you. It's up to you. Expected value wise, they are identical. The difference is there are bigger variances on idealist and less variance on realist. So I think the question mainly is, do you want a chance to get 100 pulls for the cost of being able to roll 10 pulls? Or do you want to just say, I don't want any of that and I just want 20 or 30 pulls? Idealist versus realist. I personally do idealist if you want to do what I do, but yeah, that's what I do. Because I think it's more fun. Hello, Linus. How's it going? People need to understand that all classes have a specialty. Yeah, I read this. I just realized. But yeah, we don't want like pure power creep. That's not fun either. Is there any math to delay override Gala? I'm sure that there are people out there. I don't. At the end of the day, it's random, right? Whether you get 10 pulls or 30 pulls. So I don't know if it's super important. Unless you literally just don't touch the roulette for a day, I don't think you can. Yeah. Which, you know, some people do. I don't agree with it. I don't recommend it, but, you know, some people do. I wanted to say I love your Annie-Ticket guide. I love the collaboration between the various creators. Felt like a really solid read for each element. I'm glad. I think, like, all of us put in a lot of work for it. I'm very grateful to everyone who did. So, yeah. Because I think for Anniversary Ticket, like, oftentimes I feel like there's no middle ground. Or not middle ground, but there's, like, what am I trying to say? Basically, a lot of the resources that I found in the past, including my own, are either, like, very short or, like, very abbreviated descriptions of each character because there's so many to talk about. And then, like, the video ends up being hours long because there's just so many characters. Or they're, like, just visual tier lists without much explanation. So I think doing a write-up like we did is one of the ways to get around that problem. So I'm pretty proud of what we made. I think in general people have been happy with it too, so I'm glad. %90 of mana diver usage is stuff. That's not fully true, but no, I don't think it's gonna directly creep mana diver. I think mana diver is always gonna have uses. I mean, at the very least, like, this new class does not have access to overtrans. Right? It doesn't have access to Secret Triad, it doesn't have access to Wild Magicka, and it doesn't have access to overtrans. Just think about whenever you use Mana Diver chat, what are the skills you use? Because I'm betting that 90% of the time you're bringing Secret Triad and Wild Magicka. And Wizard Origin, it doesn't have that. A skill that you bring, like, pretty much every time you use Mana Dive is not there. I don't know about everyone else, but I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. Nice. Can you turn on XP? Yeah, sure, I can do that. Is it worth to go Ilsa if I don't have a bowgun party? So it's discussed on the Annie-Ticket page, but I think the main consideration is do you have Hrisvelga? Because if you don't have Hrisvelga, then I don't think Ilsa's super duper worth it. You don't, I wouldn't worry about it. I would pick Ilsa if it's your favorite character, but if you're picking it for meta reasons, I wouldn't bother. It is more of a Hrisvelga focused pick. You can't get both effects for Elo level 50 skill after the first cast. Yes, that's correct. You only get it the first time. So after the 12 turn cooldown, if you click it again, it depends on your main weapon. He's hot and Water Guild was coming up, but that's about it. Yeah. Those are not reasons I would Annie-Ticket her for. I'll link you my Annie-Ticket page just in case you haven't seen it, but there's a detailed write-up there. The spring water robe effect being one time makes me sad. Oh, does it? Does it, Echo? What a shame. Oh, that wasn't even what I was thinking. Oh my god. Okay, that's skill. I had a question about Hrsvelga, if you may know the answer. I heard that there's a UNF EX plus soldier setup that can clear any element with gun. Do you know if that setup requires summer bubs? I am not aware of this setup. Or rather, I'm not familiar with this setup. I know what you're referencing, but honestly, I think just work on your other elements would be my advice here. Those are meme setups, really. It doesn't use summer bubs, but it is a character check. You need to have Echo and Shield characters. Ah, there you go. So like characters like Sakasaha, Velena, things like that. Simply bring actual spring water room. Two pages of EM skills and almost all of them are garbage. Yeah, hello. I wanted to say thanks for the guide and streams like this. No worries. A whole class line not having a single good skill is so funny to me, yeah. Do you think Elo might get a buff? Not like directly, indirect buffs by them releasing good spears and axes, things like that, yes. I can't think of a time when they've actually buffed a class that wasn't just introducing a new mechanic. Has that ever happened actually? Granblue Veterans. Have they ever directly buffed a class? I don't think so. It's only through like Ultimate Mastery or things like that. Or releasing a new weapon. The class itself doesn't change. I think the worst thing is we expected Elo to be worse, yet here we are again. Yeah. Can I just rant? Just once? Slightly? I don't get why even such a basic... I understand that you need differences between classes, right? I'm not saying every class needs to be the same. But I don't understand why there's such a huge discrepancy in something like this. Why is this 25% general damage cap, 10% chain burst cap? We can just ignore the chain burst cap. 25% cap. And then like you look at this, and then it's 20% skill cap? Like the trade-off is 15% TA. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Should I play the game on Steam or in browser like people did previously? Never played the game. So I'm not familiar with Steam because I've only been playing on browser. So the information I'm giving you is mainly based on my knowledge of Steam. I would only choose Steam if you find that is the easier way to access the game. Currently, on this day at March 11th, playing on browser, if you are planning to play for a long time, seems to be better. Right? But Steam has the huge benefit of being much easier to access. You might have less issues with payment if you want to buy things in the game. And it also has probably future support coming to it as well. But these are obviously things that none of us have information or are privy to. So yeah, that's what I would say If you're asking me right now on March 11th, 2026, that's what I would say. But I think for a lot of people, just being able to open the game on Steam is a huge deal, and not having to use a browser. And like, ultimately you're accessing the exact same game. It's just a different login method is the way to look at it. Steam just currently, we don't know if they're going to fix this, but Steam just currently has some licensing issues because it's a global product now as opposed to browser, which was a Japan-only product. So some things in the game were licensed from other companies, third-party companies, that clearly Cygames has not received permission yet, or we don't know if they're going to try to fix it. So what that means is that some old collaboration events are just not available in the Steam version. That's the thing at the moment. But I feel like this is something they're actually working on. And why I say that is because they've announced that they're trying to get Japan to be able to log into the game as well. And I don't think there's any way that in Japan they're going to be okay with question marks for collabs. So, yeah. I've heard that Bamco is very stingy with, is it IMOS or Love Live Chat? I don't know which one. But I've heard that one of those has never released in the West. So there might be some uphill battles here, but hopefully they can get it sorted. Is it true that Steam can't refresh F5? Steam literally has a reload button. I don't know if the F5 button doesn't work though. Does anybody know? But it has a reload button, so you can literally refresh. Bamco is IMS and IMAS has nothing in the West, yeah. I was told you can back button on mouse. They haven't released 2 grands in the same alley in a row in years. Yeah, I think, I don't know. We'll have to see. A week left, I suppose, until March 19th. What did Echo say? Cajun, thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Echo says the charge bar gain is because Apsaris had it, but looks so dumb. Yep. Oh, 16th, sorry, not 19th, my bad. 16th, yes, that's correct. If this is an issue, you can actually open the Steam Closure on a web browser and just go to F5. I also think, by the way, you know how you're going to be able to log in with old accounts in the future? There's no way that you log in and then if you have a collab character, they're going to be okay with you just seeing question marks. Like this is probably like a last resort for them, right? And I would imagine if Cygames, I would imagine if I was someone at Cygames who is handling decisions like this, that ideally I would have delayed the release of Steam for when these issues are solved. But I'm imagining that they really wanted it to line up with Anniversary for all the freebies and things like that. So they had to make a decision. We don't know if it's the correct decision. But yeah, I would imagine that's sort of what happened. I imagine it's been delayed years already, yeah. Yeah, and I would also imagine that part of this is maybe to see if it's worth it for them. Because if Steam release is big, then they'll be like, oh shit, we gotta actually get this done. Or maybe if Steam version doesn't work out, they'll be like, okay, it's fine. We just work on our own other thing. Release now with it, which sucks, or just possibly never release. Yeah, there might have been like a situation where it's like, hey, we just don't know if we can ever get this to work. Yeah, we don't know how long these legal issues have been a thing, considering that Steam is 8 years old. Yeah, the Steam page is 8 years. Relink first mentioned 8 years. Western Push has been in the plans for a long time, yeah. I do think for I do think that for a game like Granblue, unfortunately on being on Steam though, is that people, at least I feel like in the general gaming community, hold active numbers on Steam to far too high of a degree. So yeah. Yeah, Steam chart posting. It's not just Granblue. No, I'm saying it's like the general gaming community at large. Active Steam numbers mean nothing when you can just log in on browser, yeah. Like, especially for a game like Granblue, it just doesn't show the picture, the grand picture. It's gonna be a bit awkward for how long a collab will run. No, I think any new collab, it'll be available on Steam. I think that would be insane. Like, for example, I would imagine FMA, they've already worked it out. Might have missed your take. Thoughts on Elo? It's a short fight burst class is the way I see it. That synergizes the more axe and spear weapons you have in your grid. Also, I forgot to post my YouTube link on Discord. Let me do that. Happy Merry Steam release day. Hello, welcome. That's just how gamers like. GBF had a store app that would be haunting Sensor Towers. Yeah. Excited for part 3? Yeah, me too. Oh, by the way, Cajun, I'm sorry to ask you for things. First time chatter on stream overlay chat is sort of borked. Is there a way to not make it as borked? Hey man, do you have a full beginner guide? I just downloaded the game. I don't, unfortunately. I do have an old beginner's guide from 2 years ago. Or 2 or something like that years ago on my YouTube. You can check that out. But honestly, I think so just context. I'm creating a new beginner's guide. I don't know when it's releasing. I'm hoping sometime during this week. Is there an easy way to simulate it? I don't know. I actually don't know. But anyways, going back to the other thing, I am in the process of creating one. For now, I would just suggest if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But any general tips I have for newer players, I'm posting a bunch on YouTube very frequently. Like just this morning, I released a video because as a new player, you get bombarded with so many things. It can be very overwhelming. So I've just given some advice on some selectable things that you can do at the start. And then, what's it called? But yeah, a more in-depth new player guide coming soon. It's tricky because I want to get it out as quickly as possible, but I also want to make sure that it's edited well so that people stay engaged in it. So yeah, I'm not a very good video editor. I'm slow, so I'm working on it. I hope I'll get there very soon. Yes, in the meantime, in game there is something called Sierra's Knickknack Academy. It will get like shoved in your face once you reach like chapter 7 or something of the main story, which is very quick to reach. And that basically is an extended tutorial in the game that you should follow. And that's something I'm going to mention in my video anyways. Do I have time to get a decent water team for Guild War? Depends how much you play the game, because like, and how lucky you get with roulette, to be honest. But I wouldn't worry too much about Guild War. Guild War is next month. It is a event that people like preparing for, but as a new player, you don't really have to worry super duper. Like, you don't have to worry a lot about it, is what I'm trying to say. It might give you some direction on what to farm. So like, for example, you might want to focus on farming your water teams and making your water team stronger. But don't stress about it, is what I'm trying to say. Please mention that Seer is only available for fire until you reach stage 2, then it unlocks for all elements. Ah, right, okay. That I'm gonna write that down. Thanks. Actually, I'll show you guys what I am working on, or at least things. One sec. Yeah. This one. This is basically the main topics I'm going to cover. Leave things in your crate. Not in this order. It's just things I've written down. Leave things in the crate and then what to do with these things. Don't use bars, sunstones, gold moons. Follow Seer's Academy. I'll put here, mention fire first. Use journey drops. Do side stories. Ooh. Okay, I'm still going to mention this, but I'm not going to show basic grids. Don't show basic grids. Because basic grid shows you collab stuff that you can't get on Steam, which, yeah. Anyways, never pull on 3% banners. Unlock pro skips. Don't be afraid to host hard raids. Just request backup. Join other people's raids. And then check. I'll take things one step at a time and then check the wiki. If there's any other things that you guys think I should be talking about in a very general beginner's guide, let me know. But I think those are the main things I'm covering. All elements. You eventually want all elements. I'll probably mention that here. Mention elements, blah, blah, blah. It's changed to other side stories in Steam, gotcha. I regularly reroll. Is that how you do it? I didn't know, Linus. Dear Lord. If a new player has Dread Barrage Guild War Revenge, they get New Quartz or Revenant weapons from the cheap draw boxes. Honestly, it depends on whether you want Eternals or Evokers first. I would probably go New Quartz, I think. Ultimately, you want everything, so. Mention monthly shops to double dip on views as they keep coming back for the list. Monthly shop is important, but at the start it's overwhelming, so I'm not going to mention that actually. As a teacher, that's bad advice to give at this point, so I would not do that. Yes, it has a there's an incentive for me to do it, but I would not do it. Shout out of the wiki as a source of information there. Yep, I've got it. Check the wiki here. Make a general don't use anything unless you know. Instead of just specifying just bars, stones, and moons. Don't use anything unless you know what it's for. Well, that's going to be everything. That's the thing. Like I was lurking mainly in a channel earlier, right? Of a new player, and there were people who are obviously familiar with Granblue giving advice. But the thing about advice like that is that you have to be very clear in what you're saying, and you can't just use things like, oh, don't use things if you don't know what they do, when everything you know, like you don't know anything. You can't give advice like that, right? Because as a new player, you don't know anything, so everything is like, hey, don't use it then. It's not actually helpful. Like, for example, they were going through like what's like, just look at this shit, chat. Look at this. Can we just talk about this? Like, this is nuts. So can you imagine being like, I mean, I don't have to imagine. I watch new players look at this and they're just like, what the fuck is this? And they just think, like, don't know what they're looking at. And I understand. Look at it. Right? This is overwhelming for me as well. Like, what are they thinking here? Like, please put some of this shit somewhere else. Put a category or something, be like purchasable items or like story events, like something, you know? It's not good. So, like, and then, like, people are telling them to use the Zodiac ticket or whatever. And it's like, what the fuck's the Zodiac ticket? It doesn't say Zodiac ticket. You aren't going to know who the Zodiacs are, right? And it's like talking about, like, hey, you can get rewards from the event. And they're just like, where do I get rewards? Like, just think about this UI for a moment. You might be like, hey, there's a big fucking exclamation mark on loot, but there's also a flashing red button. There is also this red mark on this thing here. Like, there's nothing that actually like cohesively makes sense. And then you have to say, oh, it's actually in loot. And then it's like token draw. It's like, what is this? Is this gacha? I'm like, am I pulling from the gacha? I don't want to pull from the gacha. It's not clear. And then as a new player, you look at this and it's like, what am I getting from this? You don't know, right? And then you finally find the button and then you look at this and you're like, what the fuck does all this shit do? No, you don't know. Nobody understands what this is. And then you're like, oh, let me see what's in the other boxes or whatever. Like, and then like maybe finally then you sort of like someone has to usually be guiding and be like, oh, that's what this does. And that's what this does. And what I will say is that in general, this isn't even just a Granblue thing, right? In general, no, not in general. Basically, what I want to say is that teaching somebody is a learnt skill. It's something you practice over time and you get better at as you do it more. And most people are not good teachers just because they haven't done it a lot, right? So like watching advice be given in like Twitch streams to people who are new at the game from veteran GBF players who are trying to help, right? Bless their hearts, they're trying to help, I understand. But my God, like it's frustrating when people give like the most irrelevant information to people who are new. And it's just information overload. It's like, from like, it's like, it's like this. And then like, oh, you should pick Pela because she goes well with Hrsvelga and blah, blah, blah. It's like, why are you saying that? Like, hello? Why, how does that help? Draw boxes are obvious. If you play gachas, every game has a lottery draw event. No, but the UI is very different, right? It's not clear, I think. Reset Drawbox is also quite a misleading name because I thought it emptied the Drawbox entirely for a good while. Yeah, I can see that, yeah. Really try to reel in when people ask a question. Yes, it's very easy to just get into the nitty-gritty details when someone asks a question, but for new players, you really have to just give the broad picture. It just needs to be what they asked, and then just cut out all the bad stuff, and you have to like be very exact. Like I have to be very careful that when I say the Zodiac ticket, I'm like on screen, see how I don't say Zodiac ticket, I say Divine Blessing ticket because it's called Divine Blessing. Nowhere on here does it actually say Zodiac. In fact, Zodiac is never ever mentioned in game, right? It's always 12 generals. So yeah, like you have to be very careful about jargon. You have to be very careful, or mindful, I should say, not careful, but yeah. So lots of things. Anyways, where's my thing? What was I doing? Spirit Impaler? No, not this one. That one. That skill sort of sucked. So Unbound Charge is the way to go for this. And then the grid was, let me see. Let me see. It was double Vortex, and then you dropped the Gales, I think, actually. That's what Ma was saying. G to Pink Fantasy. I tend to forget the names of things like Primal, Pay to Win, simplify things. New players understand me, but I confuse veterans. Basically translating GBF lingo back to English, yes, exactly. It's like the term echo is never used in game. Yep, that's also true. Term echo is actually never used in games. Amalthea Island 24-hour mass orgy survival game. Okay, so they got past the word filter then. I guess. If you guys didn't know, apparently there's a word filter in game now. Probably because of age ratings on Steam. Funnily enough. Who should I use my Divine Blessing ticket on? Well, Umikin, you should check out my latest YouTube video where I actually go over this topic. Do illustrious weapons come at 3 stars already? Yes, they do. Oh, wait a sec. Why is that on? What did I turn off a moment ago? Oh, maybe I just turned it back on. They come at 3 stars, so you don't have to use... It's 150 moons, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to spend any more moons until they add the update later on this year. My current spam is the only box that matters that are free: a new Skyfarer Step Up, Beginner SSR, PS the Astrals, do PS the Astrals, but skip all the story because it's related to the main story. No, I don't think I'd actually say that. So there's a content creator, I don't know if they're still live, but I was actually watching them after the stream yesterday, and they played up to, as far as I'm aware, the end of Port Breeze, and then they went into PS the Astrals, and they were, like, they knew that, I think at that point they knew that parts of this would quote-unquote spoil the main story, but at the end of the day, you need context to understand the spoilers, right? So, and at that point, you don't really have the context, and what I know is that they were really, really invested into, or at least it seemed like they were actually quite interested in the story of PS the Astrals, because guess what? PS the Astrals is a much more modern story than Port Breeze from 12 years ago. So it does a pretty good job. So yeah, they were interested enough from Port Breeze to read PS the Astrals, and then they read PS the Astrals, and as far as I know, they're looking quite forward to the story event tomorrow. So I don't think skip PS the Astral is relatively good advice. Because at the end of the day, these events are designed in a way so that new players can jump in. It also took them 13 years to make a story about Luminary Knights. Should I be spending crystals on anything as a new player? No, you should not. No, you should not. You should wait for a Gala banner. Gala banners are 6% banners. You'll be able to tell because on the draw banner itself, in the top right, it's going to say like SSR rates doubled. It'll say like something Gala. It'll be like Flash Gala or Premium Gala, SSR rates doubled. If you're using crystals, you should save it for those banners, and you should only generally pull if you have a combined total of 300 pulls. Now, at the moment, there are free pulls. Free pulls, feel free to spend, because free pulls expire within the 24-hour period. So the roulette that you get every day, feel free to use that. But on particular days, you want to save your free pulls for these Gala banners, because Gala banners, you just get more SSRs. SSRs are double. If you want more information, check out my roulette video, and then keep an eye out on my YouTube for an updated beginner's guide where I do go over the gacha and things like topics like this. On YouTube, the video regarding roulette is called Everything You Need to Know About Roulette. I think it's one of the 5 latest videos I've released. I've lost track of how many I've released now. You always go with the assumption that they don't want to be spoiled about anything. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's just a special case when it's something like this current event. Hey, which exo weapon is used the most other than the Wotoken one? The Fire Dagger. I'm at 1.54 with this rotation. Yeah, I think maybe with second Volford it'll be better. But I would say like at the moment it's relatively hard to justify. Alright, that's done. Let's go here. You're gonna try the E or Seagafe. I don't have Cassius. So I'm at a crossroads right now because I want Cassius. I did not win the scam, but Cassius or Lance because I want both, and it's just a question of how do I get both. And currently it's looking like Sierra ticket. I want to read PS the Astros, but I really don't want to be spoiled about the main story. I honestly, okay, here's my take. Sorry, me. Everybody considers, or like everybody has a different level of tolerance for spoilers, right? Some people consider spoilers literally anything you don't know. Some people might consider only big events spoilers, right? And things like that. So I have no idea how you personally judge or care about what level of spoiler, right? What I will say is that PS the Astral it's clear to me that they've designed and written this story in a way that it's a new story that you don't need a lot of context to enjoy. And also that they've written it in a way where if you have context on certain events, it obviously can be more impactful and it will be more impactful, but it's clear to me from watching new players read it that it is a good story on its own as well. I think the spoilers that it talks about in PS the Astrals don't really feel like spoilers when you don't have context, right? They will mention some events and give you recaps on some things that have occurred just to make you understand what's going on. But pretty much anything that is really spoilery isn't super present, maybe apart from the presence of one particular character and things like that. But without context, you don't know that. And by the time you get to that in the story, it might help you just piece the dots together a little bit more easier than it would have otherwise. So, my take here is that if you really want to read PS the Astrals, I think it's completely fine to read PS the Astrals. Especially because I've watched new players read PS the Astrals and enjoy the event. You are telling me not to use my Divine Blessing ticket, but I have all 12 Zodiacs. When do we get the new Nara? We don't know. I just skipped everything in PS the Astrals. I'm going to read it later. Yep, you can do that too. If you want to just avoid any sort of spoiler and you care about the story a lot, then yeah, do that. And I think another thing that I realized from watching some new players play through the story is that GBF's story is quite unique in today's gacha market. And the way it characterizes, the way it does characterization, the way it presents its story, and things like that, yeah. It is quite different. What's the Divine Blessing ticket? It's a free ticket that you get. Chat, I'm getting a call, 1 sec. Alright, I'm back. What was I talking about? Also, why is my Spotify account not linked? What happened? Hello? Was it always like that? Yeah. This thing bugs more often than it works, I feel. There we go. Yeah, like 5 minutes ago, okay. Story reading and skipping. I forgot where I was at. A free Zodiac pick ticket. Oh, the Divine Blessing ticket, it's on the home screen. When you log into the game, you'll be given a ticket. It's for this particular banner right here. 12th birthday Divine Blessing ticket. I'm just saying, I have a video on it, you should watch it, but essentially wait until March 30th after you've done your roulette free pulls to use it. You were saying that today's GBF and today's gacha story is executed differently than Modern Gacha. Yes, yes. Right. Like, it's something that I didn't really... It's something I never really thought about until this stream I was watching brought it up, right? And they were talking about how, like, the way Cygames characterizes and the way they present their story, the way they tell their stories is so different compared to the, like, modern gacha landscape. So, yeah. I forget how I was going to relate this back to the story and spoiler thing, but yeah. It's just that. How so? VN story style? Like, it's not just like the fact that it's presented to you like a visual novel. I mean, part of it is, but how should I describe this? How should I describe this? Like, think about a modern gacha. Let's just take Wuthering Waves because I've played that most recently. When I played Wuthering Waves, the most recent story, which I enjoyed by the way, was the patch regarding Imeth. What happens in that Imeth story at a very top level? I'm not talking about the nitty-gritty details of like, hey, what specifically happens? I'm talking about what do you actually do in this story? And it's pretty much you hang out with one character. Why do modern gachas do this? It's because they want to sell you that character because their banner is playing right now. It's basically a date with the character. I don't mean like a romantic date, I mean just hanging out with the character. I think the Imeth banner is a very good example of that. I'm not saying every story is like that, right? There are obviously stories where I remember in Fontaine where like you're talking with Neuvillette one moment, I don't know how to pronounce it, into like, oh, then you're talking to Farina, right? But it is very clear when you play through the story which banner was active when that story is on. Does that sort of make sense? It's very clear that when I play through a part of a patch, it's abundantly clear to me what character was on the banner at the time. Basically, the main story quest is a glorified companion quest, yes. And it's designed in a way to make you want the character and to pull that character, which is very smart. But it also places some limitations on the story and the storytelling itself. Since Granblue has such a wide range of casts and the way they tell their stories is very different. Yes, I'm not saying like new events aren't in Granblue to hype you up or try to sell you a character, right? The fact that we have Legend Gala often have story characters from the latest boxing event, right? But it's not a date or whatever solo hangout with this character. They're part of a grander, bigger story with other characters. And I think that's the important part. It's with other characters. Like Imeth's story in the grand context of things is a big story that has implications on the world and how it interacts with everything. But the way it's presented is a sort of one-to-one solo adventure with this character. Whereas in Granblue, it's not that. It's a character with fully fleshed out NPCs. They feel like RPG NPCs. And they're part of a bigger world. And when these events occur, it's not just you and this character solving everything. Like, obviously, I'm simplifying things down a lot. But just to get the point across, that's what I'm trying to say. The Skyrealm is a sandbox for the writers to chuck characters at it, yeah. My opinion is that Modern Gacha releases stories for new characters, but GBF, it feels more like an event with the new characters instead. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to describe it. TMRs. I think that is a much more succinct and concise way to describe what I just talked about. And I fully agree. Modern Gachas often feel like it's a release story for the new characters, but GBF, it feels like it's an event that just has the new characters in it. GBF hides the date ones on the summer, winter, Valentine's. Yeah, like any like one-on-one dates or things like that are often just reserved for the Fate episode, right? For the character, not like the big story events. And I think Fate episodes are a fine place to put. And the thing about Fate episodes is that you only get access to them after you have the character, right? Yeah, sure, like there are Fate episode teasers when a new character first appears, but yeah, the full Fate episode you only get after you get the character. It's a very different system, right? It's more of a traditional gacha system. I want to play Granblue, but I had the Steam release is really crummy, but the browser version does not like Chromium. Browser actually only runs in Chromium. I'm playing on browser right now. I've been playing on browser since 2020. Browser currently is the most accessible way to play the game. Steam will probably just get better over time. There were some login issues, but they're all fixed. If you're asking me on March 11th, 2026, what is the quote-unquote best way to play the game, I think Steam is most accessible because you don't have to worry about anything. It's just you log in on Steam. But if you want to be able to access all the content in the game currently, it is only on browser because some old collaboration events are not available on Steam due to the licensing issues at the moment. We don't know if they're going to fix that. So yeah, that's one thing. And the other thing I know is that Steam might be easier for you to buy things in the game if you ever decide to buy things, because it just uses your Steam wallet. Whereas browser, you will have to use something like PayPal or Amazon or Apple Pay, and some countries or some locations, or you might just not have access to that for various reasons. And the other thing is you also buy in a foreign currency in yen, whereas on Steam Wallet, you'll be using Steam Wallet, so your local currency, I guess. I think it's converted, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. So there's a couple things to consider. That being said, if browser works, and if you are okay buying mobile coins in yen, then I think browser currently is a little bit more superior, unless you like this UI of the Steam version a lot more. Yeah, what Nico said, I'm using Vidal Spine. My general advice is that if you want to play long-term, browser is the best. Currently, it seems that way, yes. Only gameplay downside I've heard is that you can't F5. Okay, so F5 doesn't work, but you can back button, but you can't double back. Okay. We'll have to see what updates they give the Steam client, because currently we don't know if this is something they keep supporting with like are they going to add new UI options in the future, the ability to bookmark pages. Like we don't know if they're going to do any of that stuff, right? So it's hard for us to say, but yeah, right now look, Granblue is a 12-year-old game. People have been playing on browser for 12 years, which means that people are more familiar with browser too. So yeah. You can also just play in browser with a Steam account after you make it. That's true as well, right? If you make your account on Steam, you can just play on browser with your Steam account. Yes, currently you can go from Steam to browser, but not browser to Steam. But that will affect old collab characters currently. And once again, we don't know if that's something they'll fix, just because they haven't announced it. But it's clear that it's because of licensing issues. Steam ping is superior outside of Japan. Is that true? Is ping not the same? Not in battle. What? Can you guys be specific? What's not in battle? There's California servers for menuing. Really? So inventory, you have better ping if you're NA, basically. I think EU would have better ping there too. Interesting. Okay. That's really interesting to know, honestly. I just checked you can double back on Steam depending on your mouse. Oh, okay. So F5 doesn't work, but double back does. It depends on which region you selected. Okay. I was planning on checking out the Steam version later today. I guess we can maybe feel that. You can double back. I tested it. Oh, okay. Honestly, inventory management alone being faster sounds so much nicer with how much menuing there is in inventory. What's the rule of thumb when it comes to inventory management? I'll link you the page. I'll link you the page. It is specifically... Yeah. There you go. The tables here are split into farmable weapons and gacha weapons and summons. If you've already picked it up from your inventory and you don't know whether it's a farmable weapon or a gacha weapon, unfortunately there is no easy way to tell. And this is why I say keep it in the crate. But the only way to find out at this point is to just wiki each one individually. Yeah, there's nothing that can actually be done about that. Mizakoi 40 ms ping, so it definitely seems like regional servers. Wow, okay. Wait, that's... Chat, even things like artifact re-rolling or ring re-rolling is going to feel so nice. Seems like a low-turn burst class, yeah? That's what I think. I just wish they'd add a gacha tag. Yeah, that would be nice. Any Oceania players? Any Australia players? Is there Oz servers? Does Steam have Oz servers? I actually don't know. Hello Cactuar, thank you for the follow. Any OCE servers? Anyone know? Can I ask for a great and possible team suggestion for certain raids here? Because in Wiki, sometimes it's too high end for me to follow. Yeah, you can feel free to ask. The only advice I'd give here is that the Wiki teams aren't like there to be just copied one-to-one. They're there to give you ideas, right? So you can take the general idea of the team and then try to apply it with what things you have. So if you're missing a weapon or you're missing a character, you can try replacing with what you have, with a character that maybe does a similar thing, and then go from there. As for what character is similar, you'll have to read the kits and compare with the character that they're using to find out and figure out why that character is being used. Like, for example, a character might be being used because they're good at healing, or they might be being used because they're good at dispelling. So, and then you find an alternative that you own. Oh, I can check ping by just pinging that. Let me see. Ping. Let me try again. That gave me... Okay, it's weird. I get 108 sometimes and 22 sometimes. Why does it flick between? Alt 30 ping. Okay, it looks like it's 2 digits. For me, for Steam ping. If you want to, if you guys can use command prompt. Wait, cap has lower? I'm getting fucked. But yeah, you can ping that to see. I'm getting 3 ping. This fucking icy guy, man. Yeah, Maki's getting 2 MS. Already an SCA gets better ping. Bro's got the server in his living room. Yeah, there's clearly like a fucking Manila server or something. You get 20 ping from Indonesia, yeah. You have 2 MS, oh my god. Timeout icy. Anyways, chat, just to reiterate, this is ping only for menuing. It's only for menuing. For raids, it is not a thing. It's only for menuing. I'd imagine for chat, any network administrators or people who are familiar with this topic know, would it even be possible to do separate servers for people in the exact same raid? Like, is it possible? And is it feasible? It would probably just be the ping of the host. Yes, it's called CDN. Yes and no, it's hard. Like, because Granblue is a real-time game, right? In raids. Do you know why they call it menuing? Because it puts me and you together. Alright, +2. To the same raid, it'd be annoying. Yeah, because, like, if me and a Japanese player are in a raid, like, at this point, there would be some shit like rollback or something, right? That would be needed. They can handle it the same way it does when you have honors turned off, where you only see action changes when you do an action. I'm trying to do Belial fight, but on the wiki it suggests Draconic and Opus together and some Sete swords. I don't have access to that. Do you have any other alternatives? If you just have regular M3 weapons, just put in M3 weapons. The grids on the wiki are there for soloing Belial and full autoing. If you're manually, the requirements are way lower. And if you're requesting backup as well. So I recommend opening the raid with your M3 grid with the characters you do, trying out the raid and requesting backup, and hopefully some people can join that are strong, that can help you out. I think the best thing they could do is host the servers for the raid where the person is connected to, and people who connect to a raid get that ping. Okay. So you would have variable ping depending on which raid. I feel like that would segregate the player base. I mean, I guess it wouldn't unless it shows what server you're joining, but people would inevitably ask for that, right? It'd be like, oh, that they have a Japanese name, I'm not joining. Or that person, English name, not joining. 425 US only, yeah. So I feel like in Granblue, it would have to be some solution where everybody has equal ping. My ping is 9 ms to Steam. Hi, I got something good from Scamcher Set B. Congratulations. Reminder, no gacha in chat though, chat. 2:45. Marky's neighbors only. Catching up on sleep. Good night. Good night. In co-op, I would say you could choose the server, but the raid finder would just be hosted on the host server. Send me your address and then I can verify. I'm getting 10 ms. You know, I think it's good that they made, at least that they put menuing, right? Honestly. This is how they did it in Lost Ark. They merged NAW, NAE, West and East, and now we have people who avoid specific regions depending on the host, yeah. UI doesn't matter how many characters I have. Yes, it does. Because 12 million, it's like 12 million XP or something, and that gets distributed across everybody in your party. I don't see how the servers are in California. No, it seems like it's region-based. It depends on... Do you choose a region when you open Steam or something, chat? The Steam version of the game. Yeah, so like there's a server in Europe, there's a server in Australia, there's a server in SEA or something. So the US ones are in California. Dude, I'm like 60 times faster on Steam for menuing. Actually, these servers are probably all hosted by Steam itself, considering Steam is even in the name. Yeah, I would imagine. I would imagine that this is Steam. It's not like Cygame servers, it's Steam servers. There's also East Coast servers. I'm not in California, I have 2 ping. Oh my god. Hi, is it necessary to reroll? No, it's not. It's not. Granblue has so many characters and so many things that I think it's fine if you just go with the flow. And also, I've heard that rerolling on Steam is, like, impossible. So there's also that as well. Yeah, like, Steam cannot reroll, so you don't even get the choice if you're playing on Steam. And once again, it doesn't really matter, it's fine. Gambling addicts in shambles. Rerolling doesn't work with the way GBF teams empower made, yeah. Like there's obviously something veteran players could do if they were making a new account for whatever reason, but honestly, as a new player, like none of that shit matters. Hi, is Yucatavania good? And what's her team comp? Yucatavania is good. She's often used in normal attack win teams, and how win teams are like how teams in Granblue in general are constructed. It often depends on what you're fighting. You sort of change what you use depending on the fight. So ultimately, the answer would be, what are you fighting? But I'm assuming you're a newer player, in which case I would just honestly put characters that you have together. And if you want more detailed advice, if you aren't a new player, then I would recommend checking out my Analytics page, where I have a write-up on Vampy herself, Yukata Vampy. And that includes characters she's used with, that she's commonly used with. Amare said a couple things. Amare said reduce farmable SSR weapons. Oh wait, is that summon reduce stone? Sorry, what are you talking about, Amare? I think I missed some context here. Can I ask how the stream is today? I'm doing okay. I'm doing well. A little tired because of general lack of sleep. But yeah, I'm doing well. So any cool LO setups? For bar farming there are. Fire's good, Dark's good, Wind is better. But yeah, Fire's the best. In that order. Fire, Dark, Wind. I don't know about Water. But Water doesn't use LO. Do I have work? No. Oh, someone asked how to get light quartz, I see. Yeah, you can reduce things, but honestly, I would be very cautious about reducing things, is what I'll say. Yeah, you can, when you request backup, you get a code, right? This code, you can copy that and then put it in chat, and then people can help you. Fire Mog's LO even if Wind has Romp. Well, Fire has 5 core spears and axes they use. They also have access to Percy, so yeah. Can I ask why Scratcher is such a scam? It just is. Don't know what to say. we'll do our gacha pulls after this, maybe, chat. Is LO auto nuke after normal skill or normal attack? It is skill damage. Auto nukes are always skill damage. Auto attack damage is only echo and normal attacks. So I need to put kanji to see what shield they have before asking for backup. So these days people can actually just cancel it with Vesusia. So I don't think it matters as much, no. I don't think you do 5 axes, I think you do 4. Pew pew. You don't need to fulfill 5, by the way. You only need to fulfill 5 if you're planning to click the self tag, the instant attack skill, or the limited, what was it called again? Limited ruckus, unlimited. It wasn't ruckus. It was unlimited something. Whatever it's called, unlimited thing, unlimited trouble. Yes, infinite trouble. Yes. Are we doing Steam version today? I think I'll check out Steam version later. Yeah. Is it better to start with Vesucia or Sanshiro? Vesucia. Sanshiro, you can guarantee throw a spark later on. Vesucia, you can't. So I would say Vesucia. Wait, not clicking S3. What's S3? Haven't I Mon questions today? No, I don't think so. I also haven't answered YouTube questions. We can do both of those. There is another newbie ticket with some Enneads Malice Regalia in between both beginner Skyfarer tickets. Which one do you think is best? Alabard, Ben Bennett, Tyros Zeta, Dark Thrasher, Ished, Nibelung Klinge, Krorsken Crozier, Manjet, Harsiasus Harakte, Abydos Agonize. You don't even use Agonize now. That's the thing, right? Do people? When's the last time, chat, you guys use Agonize? Because I've not used Agonize in forever. Like, I only use Agonize because M3 didn't exist. Right? Whereas other weapons here, like Ben Bennett or Tyros Zeta, you might actually use. So out of that list, Agonize is the hardest to farm, but it also gets replaced by another weapon, another farmable weapon, it gets replaced by a better farmable weapon later on. So I think I would suggest Ished, Ben Bennett, Alabard, Tyros Zeta, or Tyros Zeta. I think those ones. Or Tyros Zeta. I think I would suggest one of those because they're weapons that are actually used. Nibelung Klinge is not really used. Do you guys use spoons? When's the last time you used a spoon? Answer right now. I would suggest M2, yeah, which is really only Tyros, right? I hate spoons. Okay, I trust Cajun here. So, Cajun Magna, the Magna correspondent in chat said, I hate spoons, so. Doesn't Sierra give you like 3? Sierra gives you spoons. That's the other thing. Tyros Zeta is not given. So that's what I'd say. No, Tyros is missing from M2. That's the key thing here. Right here. This is what you get. Let's see. Fire, you get Nilakanthas. Water, you get no Tyros Zetas, right? See, no Tyros Zetas. Earth, you get Nibelung Klinge. Wind, you get 2 spoons. So no, we're not suggesting spoon. You already get spoons. Light, you just get Lumi swords. And dark, you get a Zechariah. So yeah, no, I think what I've said is correct. Having a little trouble understanding this, but if I have enough Omega weapons I need for a grid, I should just reserve the rest, right? You should reserve or reduce anything that you don't need. Yeah. You can check how many of each weapon you might want on the advanced grids page. So if you go to advanced grids, link on the sidebar here, you can go to the elements. You'll be focusing on the top 6 ones here. These 6 at the top. And then let's say you're looking at dark weapons, you would click Celeste. And then under each of these, it'll say some weapons are here. And you can just check, hey, how many of this particular weapon do I need? And if it's not listed, that means it's not important. So you can just reserve or reduce it if you don't care. Or if they're not listed, they might just be like really, really budget weapons. So maybe only reserve and reduce if like you already have other replacements or better weapons to go. So until you get better weapons, you can keep them is what I'm trying to say. Filler weapons. Why did that post fucking twice? Did that actually post twice? Agonize, agonize. Yeah, no, I don't agree. I feel like a lot of people's gut reaction is agonize, but I don't think that's looking at the full picture. WVid, thanks for this. Yay. I find it hard to be excited with these picks because they're clearly picks that have been power crept or real close to it. At least Petra SSR is still useful. How do you know that? Well, how do you know Petra SSR is useful when you've just started the game? I feel like all of them are useful. Anyways. Tier list brain rot? Oh, maybe. No, I think you're right. It's probably tier list. Yeah, it probably is tier list. Like, where's Petra? Petra's here, 9.6. Let's compare. Where's Athena? I mean, Athena's 9.6. No, I don't think that's it. Where's Ko? Where the fuck's Ko? Ko, 9.6 as well. Nah, no, it's not. It's not tier list. A lot of these are 9.6. Who's the water one? Like Lily, I know. Oh no, Lily's Zero's Academy. Bait post? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because they are talking as if they're picking a character for the first time, but then they also say like Petra's good. And I can only imagine that if someone told them that, I guess. Yeah, and like Ko is good. That's the other thing. What is this ticket? So you know pinboard missions and how they got rid of them? Instead of those, you basically have like selected tickets now. I was only made aware of this yesterday, by the way, as well. So if you're a player who's been around for a while, you're gonna be confused as well. So here, beginner's daily bonus. Players logging in after this receive a beginner's daily bonus. We can probably just get rid of this now. Reward daily details. You get a beginner Skyfarer weapon ticket, and you get a beginner Skyfarer weapon ticket too here as well. I guess we should actually write what's in this ticket, because I didn't know what's in it, so I couldn't talk about it. But yeah, Percy, Lance, C, Gawain, Delafite, Cerberus, and then Athena, Arn, Razia, Petra, Ferry, Ko. And yeah, these are selected, so you get to choose. Anyways, next. Summer, Ilnot, or Gabriel. From what? Wait, from what ticket? Wait, from what ticket? Why people just answering? Where is this? Is this not just anniversary ticket? This has to be anniversary. It can't be beginner, right? I guess it can be beginner if they're just someone returning. It could be beginner if there's someone returning. Otherwise, it has to be anniversary. $10.27. What's $10.27? I want to see. Oh, yeah. All right, next. I'd say that within the beginner ticket 2 option, only Ko or Petra see use these days. No, I had a look, honestly. I had a look and I can't say that. Like, people talk about Arn. Ferry is very good as well. Like, if we're really talking, I think Athena sees the least amount of use because there's like very competitive other characters. Even Razia was used for like some Diaspora teams. So like, I actually don't agree with this statement. Where is it? Where'd it go? I actually don't agree with this. Pretty much every single character that can work well in high-end teams, in raid setups, up to Revan's raids. At a relatively high level. Wait, no, that's, how do I want to work this? I actually don't agree with this. Pretty much every single character on that ticket can work in up to Revans, up to and including Revans level setups for more budget teams. For teams using more budget. For teams using for people with for teams using more budget characters. I think a common yeah, no, I think comments like this really show that, hey, if a character's not top tier, they're bad, and that's just not true. like for example, Razia, probably most of you are like, what the fuck is Razia used in? And I was sort of like that too, but she has charge attack stuff. Where do you need charge attack stuff? Guess what? Diaspora hosting, and it's good. Right, it works. You can get shit done here with this. And that's the whole point of these characters. And early on when you're lacking things, you need characters that get shit done. And pretty much all of these get shit done, I think. Even Athena, who I think is maybe the most outdated here. And it's, I say outdated. And it's only because she takes 5 turns. Like, that's not even a bad thing. Let's be real. She takes 5 turns and she needs to be targeted for those 5 turns to really pop off. Which is sort of annoying in some raids. So, but as a new player, you're not going to be defeating raids in 1 or 2 turns. You're going to be taking like 6, 7 turns sometimes. And that's when characters like Athena pop off. So yeah. Yet people are unaware of how good a lot of the bad characters are. Yeah, bad being like underutilized or not meta characters. Right? So, yeah, like comments like this, I actually disagree with. I actually think beginner ticket 2 has some really good choices overall, to be honest. Maybe not top tier meta characters, but too many. But honestly, disregard characters that aren't meta. Who's on 1? I think 1 is a little bit rougher. I think ticket 1 is a bit rougher. Maybe Delphi is the only better option here. But yeah, I think overall this is rougher. Whereas ticket 2, I think, has some good choices. Anyways, there's that. Let's go to Mond. How many? 12? Specific question. How did they write this like this? I want to use Sariel, Six, and Ilsa in the team, but I don't know which weapons I should use in the grid section. This sounds like a new player, right? This sounds like a new player. Hello. Yo. New player has 6. Is it Yukata Ilsa? It would only be because it's a dark character. It has to be. New player has 6. I don't know, like relatively newer, sorry. Not new, but relatively newer. I think linking something like Vasky's grid understanding video is a good thing to do here. I'm gonna do it. We do get a free Eternal there. I'm not sure how deep you are into the game, but I would give something like Vasky's grid guide a watch. Let me see, where's the grid video? Intro to grids. Share. Well, a watch. And also give advanced grids read Celeste. You want to be putting normal strong sources of attack into your grid, like Celeste, Grace, Arta, as for example. I'm gonna give a very simplified answer, but yeah. All right, specific question. Wait, I answered that. Delete. Chat, what language is this? And what does it say? What language is that? This guy posted 3 times. Is this the same thing? Oh my god, it is. It is. Alright, delete. We answered it. Yeah, alright, quick question. Are Primarch summons kicked out of the general pool? Are they still there? They are still there. Primarch summons are still available in the premium. Hi DY, if I'm only missing one Zodiac out of the 10 options from the free Zodiac, can I trade it before roulette ends without losing out on anything? Thanks for helping. Yeah, honestly. If you're only missing one, it's fine to pick it early. The Zodiac weapons aren't anything to write home about. Question, is Mana Diver the only viable class if you want to play Crest team? Pretty much yes. Yeah. Is it better to pick it early if you're only missing one? No, not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't matter if you pick it early. It's the main thing. Have you tried Elo and ODSFA? No. Which one are you thinking? Hi, I was planning to pick up a second Gospel from the Step Up ticket after Roulette, but I got it early. Now I'm wondering whether I should get a second KOI, third Yatimobo, or get someone new, like Baizha or Fini. Step Up? You can't actually get Baizha, right? From Step Up? Wait, Step Up ticket. This has to be the Spark, right? This has to be the Spark. Is Feeny there? Do I need to check? Is Feeny there, chat? Assuming you mean the step up spark. What's it called? Step up. What's the official name? I need to use official names because I need to be very clear. Birthday step up special. You mean the... Assuming you mean the birthday step up special. Baja actually isn't available on it. Only Feeny. It sounds like you're a Varuna player. If you're considering second KY or third Atima Bow. Second KY is weird because we have the Essa weapon now too, right? I don't know how important the Essa weapon is compared to the second KY, but the Essa weapon is... Yeah, with Essa weapon. And Yatima Bow is... It at the moment also feels like a Guild War only thing. And we don't know if Octavia's Water Grant, which might change things. I would honestly, I think I would strongly suggest waiting until the end of the... Waiting until the... Feeny's Flash, right, chat? Is Feeny Flash? Feeny's Flash. Okay, so I would strongly suggest waiting for March Flash to see if Octavia is water and to see if Octavia is water and slash or the seasonal characters change anything for water. I think that's my answer for now. Anything. Oh, did I spell it wrong? Anything. Anything. H. Alright, next. Your keyboard sounds so sexy. How often do you guys hear my keyboard? I actually disabled my gate recently. Say it. I don't know if I want to say this. I see. Pretty sure that's Peroro. I think that's Peroro. See, I think that one's Peroro. Peroro, what does this mean? Oh, Peroro got timed out. New Skyfarer step up special, but it has Volfred. Oh, on the new Skyfarer one, right? Because that uses the most recent banner, which is Legend. But if they have Feeny, then that would be Flash, right? What does this mean, chat? Don't know what this means. They're flirting. Fine shit. Greeting you and calling you a handsome fellow. Nothing much. What about you? Well, what's this? This is a this is this. Oh. Where's Mond? Why do I not have a command that works for Mond? Oh, there we go. But this is basically a place where you can ask questions for me, and you just don't want to be and you want it to be anonymous. That's basically it. If you want to ask questions and you want to be anonymous. Otherwise, I recommend using Twitch chat or YouTube chat, because then I can actually converse with you and it's much easier to get an actual response across. Enjoy Lancer while you can. Wizard Origin is going to destroy the game. I think you may have vastly overestimated Lancer. Hi, new player here. How would I get Summer Vein? For reasons. Reasons? Reasons? Summer Vein doesn't exist. It's only Lance and Vayne Summer. So Vayne doesn't have a solo summer version. Only a duo. A duo character. Yeah. Slot. I'll link it. Link below. The way to get him is simply by pulling on banners after by pulling on summer banners. Since he's SR, hopefully you get him relatively soon. Wizard Origin will be CA based and Andromeda will reign supreme. Write it down. Does the Steam version have higher resolution images? Does it, chat? I don't know. They said beginner draw set, not step up. Oh, did they respond? Linus? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Or is that talking to someone else? Am I dumb or is this a bug? Why can't I trade with silver pendants from here? I have no idea why they don't let you trade with silver pendants from there either. You have to go to the shop and manually do it. Smiley face. You're answering someone else. Okay. I kind of specific question, but at what point would you say a dark account is ready? This is like this sort of question is really common, right? It's like, how do I know if I'm ready to do X? There's just no good answer for this, is the thing. How do I know if I'm ready to do Far Zero for Opus Uncaps? I'm rank 178, so I can't quite do it yet, but I'm still curious. So Cygames has introduced solo quest versions of the raids for Far Zero and Hexa. They, in Cygames' words, basically, if you are able to clear that solo quest, you're ready for the raid. So I suggest checking that quest out once you are able to. Is it really Opus Uncap or Opus Transcendence? What's the question, sorry? Is Saya Games. Sia Games. There was 5 more after I answered. Chat. Ask in the chat so I can actually have a conversation. Alright, but anyways, advanced question. Among 000 Vesusia Orologia, which is more important to prioritize? To spark. You can't spark them. Yeah, actually, you can't spark them. There seems to be typos for your Analytics Earth page. Cajun, take a screenshot. DM that to me? Okay. I like Cajun now. Next. Should I grab a second Demon Bream? Or the last Gabriel I need? Gabriel. Are there any international players you think have above and beyond knowledge ability that you think are good to learn from? Yes. Yes. Lots. Not many create content though. Fortunately. You can start with Vesky. Vesky is GBF Academy series. Yes, DY. Yes, me. How do I get a link to the playlist? View the full playlist. There we go. Share. There we go. Long time player, recent lurker. I need a second opinion on my any ticket. I'm torn between Summer Vicky and Summer Tiamat. I have everything relevant for both picks except Earth Sky Piercer. They're both very niche things. Honestly, both pretty niche things. Niche things. STR. Like I mentioned on my Anitix page. Link below. STR isn't used for anything relevant these days. I would take a read of the wiki section to see if there's anything you might consider. S tier takes stones. That's the other thing too. S tier takes stones. Earth Sky Piercer doesn't really matter, especially with what you do with Vicky. Yeah. But Sky Piercer doesn't really matter for Vicky. I mean, what are you really using Vicky for? It's like EX Plus, right? EX Plus and maybe some Biedas wacky manual strats. So yeah. Vicky's less niche now. No, I think Vicky's still pretty niche. I mean, it depends on what we consider niche, right? Because all of these characters are niche. But like, Vicky is here in niche, and I agree with that. Because it's like... Yeah. It's lower nightmare bursts, exactly. And I guess 95 is more important now, but yeah. Answer. Oh. I'm gonna lose a chat. You're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. High stream. Deleted. No. $10 million or 1,000 years of torture in a small dark room. Wait. $10 million or 1,000 years of torture? Well, $10 million. Hello? I think. Well, that's rather a silly question. $10 million. Greedy? How's it greedy? It's you get $10 million or you get 1,000 years of torture. Which one would you choose, chat? Let's be real. Hello, I'm playing a water team with Pela, Yatima, Gabriel with my 3 M3 daggers, but I do not have enough damage to clear raids and my characters keep dying. What can I slot in the grid to increase HP? Are you trying to solo raids? You trying to solo raids at the moment? I recommend. I mean, which raid is the biggest question? But this is why, chat, you should ask these in chat so that we can have a conversation, because I need to know what raid we're talking about. I need to know about what I need to know like what context, where what you farmed, what you have available to you, and things like that. What rank you are, because as you go up in ranks, you get more HP, things like that, right? But I guess like Oberons you can chuck in. Oberons are like, I'm not sure what you have available, but you can try Ancient Oberons. You get them from Seer's Academy. But if you aren't already, make sure to request backup so that other players can help. Wow, I cannot believe I'm part of the new Wired tech support video, GBF support. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. How come every time I refresh there's more? People have lots of questions. But like I said, ask in chat so we can have a conversation. I'm planning to buy a ticket to choose Summer Atom since I have Sanchira, or Holiday Shalom for Earth since I have Baja. Assuming I don't Luxa, I can fail to get Atom. Who should I choose? Pick which ever element you favor more. Since you have Andromeda, I assume you're somewhat invested in Earth, so perhaps Shalem? Question mark. Where's my Annie ticket page? Read my Annie ticks page for more details. But next, in Scratcher, you think certain types of art determine the rarity? Yes, there is superstition on that. Yeah, there's superstition based off the card art. Up to you whether you actually believe it. Believe it or not, though. Halloween Tian is top tier home screen character. I agree. They all have Andro. I feel like that answers. Yeah. Should I be buying cages with silver moons each month? Or is it okay to cash them in for Dama bars? Oh, is cages a monthly thing? How many can you even buy? I personally save these for my pots. No, it's one time. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought so. Cages are one time. But personally, I only spend my silver moons on pots. Some people spend them on bars if they have enough pots. I don't. YouTube.com. How did his Sarasa get to 1 HP on turn 1? Is it an artifact? They have bloodshed artifact. Is it Helden? It is Helden. They have bloodshed artifact. They're cut to 20% HP artifact. And or consume, I should say. Consume 20% HP artifact, and also they have minus defense from the Helden Hymnes, Ingrid, plus Sarasa's EMP nodes, and maybe even minus 70% defense artifact. Wait, do they show artifacts? No. She took 220k, might be 70%. Run both. Okay. Alright, I'll put it. They have an artifact with both consume 20% HP and minus 70% defense. Also, they have minus defense from Helden Hymn plus Sarasa's EMP nodes. How do you get the second Fate episode for a character? I'm trying to unlock Lance and Vayne's Crossfade. The second episode? Oh, you have to level them up. Once you reach level, is it 45? Whatever it is. Let's see. So if you get Lance, you're trying to get this one here. See how it obtains at level 45. So you have to be level 45, and then it unlocks a Fate episode, and then you can read it. At that point. Would you rather have $1 million or live in the Philippines? Icy says, what the hell? You guys are going to get me cancelled one day with these questions. Come and live with me, Mr. Streamer. You don't need that money. Icy scares me, so I'll take. Farming for... Alright, these are the last two questions. If there's more, I'll answer them tomorrow. Farming for Dio, Dark Opus, 5th uncaps have been extremely boring in my opinion in comparison to M3. Am I handicapping myself by avoiding and completing the uncaps, or am I fine with farming revents and such? 5th uncaps? They're a weapon in every grid. Every grid. Yes, you are. Yes, so inherently they are important. That being said, if you're not having fun, feel free to come back to it later. Wrong answer. PH has better ping. Not for long. Steam will save us. So I found out Cagliostro and Sandy has the same colored skills, same order, cooldowns, and good flow against Siegfried. Any idea who could be a third character to also be able to follow suit? Kag and Sandy have been acquainted in Tower of Babel and Phoenix event. Wait, what? What does the Tower of Babel and Phoenix part have to do with this? Sandy is not very good. Sandy's fine for Siege. It's not fine if you're trying to solo, but it's fine if you're trying to just do a team. Do they want a law team? Are you looking for a law team? I don't know who else. I don't know, chat. Who else fits? Oh, wait. They're saying there's a pattern between Kag and Sandy because they have a red skill, a green skill, and a yellow skill. And it's because that they were in the same event. No, sorry. I don't think that's a pattern. No, sorry, I don't think that's a pattern. Does Sanchina S3 work? Only in version 2 raids. So version 2 raids you can see by seeing if there's a guard button. If you have a guard button, then you're in a version 2 raid. Sanchina's S3 outside of version 2 doesn't do much. It's a version 2 specific skill. Alright, there's one more question. Alright, last one. Actual last one. Hey, I'm a dedicated fire main who has the choice to go primal, but I'm still unsure whether it's still worth the time or effort to maintain, even if I own everything required in spades. Your following question will help me make my choice. Would you rather be rich but happy or poor but sad? What do you mean but? How about poor but happy? What is this question? What are they implying? I don't know. Would you rather have $1 or $2? Alright, we're done. We're out. I'm closing. Three questions here. 12th birthday draw set. Wasn't on the video. I haven't. I have a video on that ticket. I have a separate video. I guess I should have mentioned that. I forgot to mention that in my video. I should have said in bright fucking shining letters, hey, if you're looking for this ticket, go here. How do I get the short link? Is it this? It is. Maybe I should rename the video too. It's called Anniversary Ticket. Like it has 12th birthday draw set in the title, but not. Wait, hold up. Let me see. End screen. I thought I linked the anniversary ticket. Oh fuck, I didn't. Let me put another video here. Video. Choose a specific video. 12th birthday draw set. Save. There we go. Put that there. And then 12th birthday video is currently called 2026 anniversary ticket recommendations. 12th birthday draw set. Maybe I'll go... 12th birthday draw set recommendations. What to get. Actually, Anitix is in the fucking thumbnail. We'll leave it. 12th birthday draw set recommendations. We'll change the title. There we go. Cool. DY, you're getting trans Mercy Lager. Is Mercy trans? Maybe. We'll see. It needs to be good though. Can I ask, why is the Exo Water Gun better than the Exo Water Gauntlet? Good for Mercy. Congrats, Mercy. Can I ask, why is the Exo Water Gun better than Exo Water Gauntlet? It's because Exo Water Gun is a normal attack focused weapon for classes that support... classes that can wield guns support that sort of playstyle very well. Whereas Exo Water Gauntlet supports more charge attack playstyles, and there aren't many melee classes in the game that support CA playstyles very well. That's why. From a very simple answer, that's why. It was Rosamia. You dibsed Rosamia. Guys, as someone who anti-ticketed Summer Zoe like 5 years ago, don't anti-ticket Grands. The amount of people who ask about anti-ticket Grands surprises me. I haven't seen this much either, by the way. But in past years, this year I haven't seen it much, but in past years, I've seen people try to justify it as well. Thankfully, this year I've not seen that. And it's also, by the way, people trying to justify it after they chose the Grand on day one. And, you know, it's always the same argument. It's like, hey, this Grand is good, and I don't mind if I get dupes at the weapon. And it's like, fuck you, no you don't. You're just trying to, you're just trying to justify your bad decision, which is fine. But like, you know, you're okay. Like, bad decisions are yours to make, right? It's okay. Like, I'm making probably an objectively bad decision with my anniversary ticket too, right? But you shouldn't defend it in a way that makes it sound like, hey, it's fine for players to do it. It's one thing to do it yourself and then another thing to encourage other people to do it, right? Yeah, it's just people hella coping. Granblue is a complex game. People make mistakes. It's fine, right? My first anniversary ticket was one of the worst decisions I could have made as well. So yeah. Hey Dio, I've been thinking about going Water Primal. I have everything except Grand CA weapons and fully transcend Varuna. Should I bite the bullet or just wait until I can fully transcend Varuna? Honestly, I wouldn't invest into Varuna right now because we don't know how it's going to change. Especially over the course of Roulette, because generally they tend to introduce new things for an upcoming Guild War element, which is water at the moment. So that Grand Octavia banner and Legend Part 2, I would keep an eye on those. But just remember that being Magna does not lock you out of any content in the game. You can play every single raid and do every single raid effectively with Magna. I use my ticket on Labelli Valentine's because I simp for him, and that's a perfectly valid reason. No one's ever going to say, hey, that's the wrong decision based on that, right? Like, put it this way, right? You guys remember how I said I was sort of lurking in another creator's channel who was playing Granblue for the first time. I didn't see where they learned about Iwaya, but they really fucking liked Iwaya. And they wanted both versions of Iwaya. So they have the beginner ticket and they have the anniversary ticket, which gets Iwaya. They clearly don't care about meta whatsoever. And if you're that type of player and you just want your favorites, then of course using your anniversary ticket for your favorites is fine. The main thing is like when people are giving advice, they're not considering your favorites because obviously we can't do that. I can be like, hey, everybody should ticket Valentine's Grim because it's my favorite character. Like that's shit advice, right? So yeah. Is there a good way to practice Vesusia solo, or do you just have to hop into co-op? You can just host the raid on your own, and then call to quit the raid once you want to back out of the raid. You get your host back. Yeah, you can practice phase 1 by just hosting the raid solo. Exactly. Oh, and I released my... I put out the tweet yesterday, right? This one too. Where is it? I put out this tweet. And there was definitely a non-zero amount of people saying, hey, it's fine to use your ticket if you only have one character left. Or it's fine to use your ticket if you have all the characters. It's like, bitch. Obviously, this fucking advice isn't for you. Like... Like, I don't know what to say. It's like, clearly this isn't directed at you. Right? And then just by putting it there, it's confusing. I came into the chat to meme. Yeah. No, I know you did, but obviously this some people are like serious. Where did my wholesome streamer go? that was bitch in parentheses affectionate, by the way. I just want to point that out. I know it's very, very, very early, but is Elo looking good? I have limited resources. I'm trying to figure out if I should do FO or Elo. I think FO is the much more generalist class, so I would recommend FO if you're choosing between the two. I'm planning on running Ultima Staff, the Celestial Staff, and Gabriel Wand. Is that a little overkill, or should I use the other recommended weapons for Leviathan Grid? I would try to put in the other Leviathan weapons. It's not like what you said is bad, right? Those work together. You can just put in your grid has 10 slots. Those are 7 weapons out of your 10 slots, so yeah. The what about me-isms always got to be included in, yeah, if you have Ultima 5-star with the Seraphic key called Galf Key Tria on your skill 3 of your Ultima, then you don't need Gabriel's stuff. I can take all of you on. My secret technique when fighting Icy. The freak. It's the Augustia Simulacrum Minno for Mana Diver. What is the beamer? Oh, sorry, I missed a couple questions regarding my team. Also, my team's been slightly inconsistent these days. I actually don't know why. I don't know what's happened. I probably changed something. It was consistent. Then I fucked something up. Tropica, no! Whatever. Do you think now that the game is integrated, Steam will get all bonuses? No. I've seen more people talking about others who are upset with the Zodiac ticket giving nothing if you have them all, than I've seen people actually upset. Yeah, I think so. Gotta go to 70 defense bloodshed, but it has dodge rate. You might just re-roll the dodge rate away. Get a second send in, that's gonna fix it. Yeah, I think so. I should point out the glossary page on the thing, on the wiki and the new player guide. Chat, by the way, if you guys didn't know, there is a glossary page on the wiki. So if you see like GBF jargon that you don't understand, have a look there. And if there's any words that aren't there, but you've heard, feel free to ask me. And then I can add it to the wiki as well. Remember to use the official names for things when talking to new players. Yep. Streamer, have you done Farsia or Solo? No, I'm going to wait till I start my Vesusia. I can probably try water, I think. I think I would have enough for water, but I want to get my wind one first, so I'm going to wait. No rush anyways. How important is it for all summons to be the main element of your party? Not important at all. Not important at all. The thing about summons, right, is that this is confusing, but the main aura of your summon here only matters when you see how it says main. This summon, the aura only matters when it's in this slot. So on a fire team, you actually don't need to fill up the rest of the slots with fire. There are some summons that might have a sub aura, and sub auras only are in effect when they're not in the main slot. Chaos, thank you for the sub.
Just subscribed with Prime. Oh boy, 12 years of Grand Blue Fantasy. Why am I still here? Just to suffer.
No, to have fun, and I'm sure you are if you've been around for 12 years. So, like this one has a sub aura. See this sub? It says amplify fire allies damage. So this is a summon that you want over in this slot because it has a good sub aura effect. But in general, no, you don't. At the start when you're new, you don't have to fill up everything with fire. You can just put your best summons, and the best summons are just going to be the ones that have the highest stats, honestly. No, sub auras count anything up here. These two slots are specifically, they don't give their stats. You see how like these have like HP stat and attack stat? These are used to calculate your character's damage. Those are in effect up here, but below you see how these don't have numbers. That means that all they do is they give their sub aura. Should I go Primal on water if I have Gabriel, Dagger 1 and Exalted 2? No. Have you considered making a video about doing side stories for new players? I think it's a great way to get some SSR characters. I think so too. I don't think I'll make a video right now because I want to work on my new player guide first. (2018) to present for you. Nice. Oh, let's put on rank boost. something as basic as a grid. Nah, a grid's not basic, and the game's UI does not make it clear. I don't blame them at all. I can imagine a Steam player watching this and getting super confused. So now Belial being sparkable on Classic 3, do you recommend pulling on Classic 3 when there are no Fest banners, or should we stick to Premium? Belial is only sparkable on Classic 3 from the step up. Gotcha. It is not sparkable usually. If you take a look, you can actually see what's sparkable. I forgot about my roulette. Let's do roulette after this. If you go to Classic Draw 3 and you go to click sparkable, Belial's not there. So don't like if you were thinking that you could spark Belial here, that's incorrect. It's confusing because currently there is the birthday step up special where you can spark Belial. This one you can, but this is the paid one. Right? Wait, no, not this one. Sorry, the Classic 3. I chose the wrong one. Not that one. This one at the bottom. Step Up Classic. This one you can spark Belial. So that's causing some confusion. Yeah, you can see that you can spark the Primarchs, which are not actually available usually. It's only this one. So should you spend your free pulls like on Classic? No, I mean like the reasoning is not there, basically. Primarchs aren't available either. It's actually scummy. Yep. Looking at my account age makes me feel old. License balancing as hell, it is. Is there anything to do with an extra copy of a summon you have fully limit broken? Somehow you got an extra Belial. At the moment, no, there isn't, but I would just keep it in your inventory. Like, for example, I have a bunch of summons that don't have any use as an extra, just hanging around over here. Right, like I have a maxed out Raphael, but then I have a bunch more Raphaels here. I already have a maxed out Bubs, and then we have another Bubs here. I have a bunch of Sariels. I just keep them because we don't know what they're going to do with them in the future. So it's to cover us for future uses is why we're doing that, basically. If you... Yeah, so like you might have multiple Belials. Like, see, I've got like multiple Belials. Belial, fully uncapped. Belial, fully uncapped. More Belials here. Yeah, just keep them. Just keep them for now. But they don't serve any use as of right now in the game. I really should buy some stashes. I think once you're in an okay spot, crystal-wise, and you're okay spending some crystals on it, then yeah, go for it. I've bought a lot of stashes with my crystals. How have I only got one of these? What the hell? A new player guide would be great. I don't want the ones to use Magna Main and Primal Friend. I'm gonna cover very brief basics of things like that. But like but it's not going to get into the nitty-gritty details, right? That's not what a new player needs. I think, honestly, the biggest thing I want to get across in the new player guide is just things that the game doesn't explicitly tell you, and to give a little bit of guidance on like how to navigate the game a little bit. When do you graduate from using evoker summons in your grid? Never. Functionally never. They're in every single grid as long as you're fighting on LE content. So they're in my grid right now, and I have an endgame grid. Oh, music. My music thing keeps breaking. It's so annoying. Why does it keep happening? Okay, music widget's dead. I'll have to look for a new one. This one's been bugging too much. Didn't see you dropped a new Annie ticket guide. I'll be watching it right now. Yes, yes, we did. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask. They were made to be sub-summons. Why remove them unless some other summons power creep them in the future? Oh, they'll be removed because with Evoker Transcendence, which is a future mechanic that's being introduced, the summons are going to become wonders. Wonders are things that are permanently active on your account, and it's not something you have to equip into your grid. That's why. There'll be a free-to-play thing that is introduced to everybody. What's happened? My M3 host has low traffic compared to the last couple of days. There's probably just more hosts, right? More hosts and less people joining would be my guess. Drop rate. Drop rate might be over too, yeah. People were rushing to clear Skyscope missions on release. That's another big thing too, yeah. Now that they're done with missions, they might be less incentivized to join. I think Skyscope missions is a big thing though. Hello, XF. Alright, chat, it's roulette time. Roulette scratches time. Alright. We go Idealist. We go Idealist. People calling LO is funny because you see the stupid LO email. Oh, right. Alright, let's see. Idealist. Give the roulette a spin. What's the overdrive for? Is it Gachapin Frenzy? Yes. Click. You know, now that I think about it, chat, Gachapin is also a collab that might have been region restricted. So it was probably in GBF's best interest to get rid of Gachapin as well for that. For the Steam release. Just a fun thought there. Alright, anyways. So, you know, the Gachapin scandal probably came at an opportune time for them too, to just cut ties. Alright. And... click. Earrings 30. Okay. Alright. Earrings. What happened to Gachapin? Well, nothing happened to Gachapin. It was more that the company behind Gachapin were doing some shady things. You can go read about it. I'm not familiar with it, so I don't want to talk about it. Because I'll just be giving lies on the internet. Alright, draw. March 13th. Cheat 30 into real 30. Click. Wait, what? No, I don't care about classic. If you're about to say classic, I don't care about classic. This gets you the ticket. Oh, okay. Oh, multiple SSRs. Hold. Wait, ship? Ship? Multiple SSRs? Hold. Whale's Pennant. Okay. Whale's Pennant. That's Aglo, I think. Aglo, Vale, and Tor. M. Who's the other one? We got Lunling Flambeau.
私と合体しましょう。永遠に覚めない夢の中で。
Hecate. I don't sack chat. When did I say that? It's true, but when did I say that? Click. Several times. I mean, chat, did I get Lance or Cassius yesterday? Meaning that I might have to spend a Zero ticket on one of them? Explain right now. Close. Alright, let's see. You. Oh, wait, before we do this, chat, we got something even more important than roulette. Who did I get? I got, this. I really don't think that counts. Aglo and Azazel. Like, it wasn't even like, oh, it's okay character. It was like, okay. I guess Aglo is okay character, but Azazel... Okay, you actually lost so hard, yeah. Did you see what I got? No, I haven't. Alright, so we have the grand ticket, chat. Grand ticket. DM. Why is this guy salting me in DMs? Hello? I thought you got like the same thing. Who? He got Cassius, who I'm about to fucking Sierra ticket. Hello? Direct salt delivery. Ban. Alright, let's see. Grand ticket chat, March 2026. No salt doesn't mean no salt in DMs. Okay. Alright, I see how it is. You've been put on notice, buddy. Alright, let's see. Grand weapon draw. We could get second Volfrid here. Volfrid is there. Baja's there too. I'm just saying. There's a couple here, chat. That could be Volfrid, chat. That could be Volfrid. Who said it? Find the person. Where are they? I saw it. I saw it. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? I'm banned. Oh, wait. Where are they? Click. Fuck, chat's moving fast. Stop chatting. Goodbye. Run, Forest. No. Holy 10 minutes. Yeah, clicking on their name gave me 10 minutes. How do you get that grand ticket? You get it just by brawling. It's in the Skyscope missions. It's just from pulling in the banner like, what is it? 6 times? 5 times? Something like that. You'll get it. You'll get it. It's 60 rolls via roulette, yeah. All right, chat. We have the most important part. The most important part, which is scratches. All right. We all know that scratches is the real winner here. You already sacked 30 pulls. I got 30 today and I got 10 plus 20 yesterday. Zoe ticket. All right. Zoe ticket. Did you get Zoe as well? Middle. Who said Silver Moons? You're on notice. Kira Lawliet, you're on notice. Silver Moons. Actually, does Silver Moons give you pity? If Silver Moons give you pity, I'm okay. It does. Okay, alright, that's fine then. What about Red Rings? Is that pity? Okay, don't care. Give me Silver Moons. Do not give me Dama. If I get Dama Crystals, I'm gonna lose it. Do not give me those earrings. I honestly rather Silver Moons. Actually, yeah, I mean, it's wind. I'll take the wind one. Okay, thank God. All right. Is that Caduceus? It is Caduceus. Knick-knack, boy sure is generous. Wow. All right, close. Great. Get them from the thing. Do I have another one? No. We don't have another one. Hey, when it doesn't reveal all the scratched out titles, does it mean you could have gotten something else? No, I don't think so. No, because like the scratcher animation's all for show. The moment you click on the scratcher, you can just open the home screen on another window and it's already got your robot there. What does the birthday coin do? The birthday coin you can trade for so the birthday coin lets you scratch cards, and the tickets you can use to buy the coin. You can just view history too. Yeah, like you can just view it here. So that this one would have baited what? No, I mean those were the. It was just 2 baits. Yeah, these reward like the animations are purely for show. This fucking one, man. The wind gay bulk and the fire arminal. Does the coin let you trade for anything different than a normal coin? You can't. No, the coin is okay. Chat. The coin is for doing a scratcher. That's what it is. You get tickets, which are the pity. If you get a bad reward, you get a pity. With 5 pity, you can get another scratcher. That's what that does. So it's just more scratches. It's another chance at a better result. Bad reward in quotation marks, yes. Birthday step up special is on the way. Oh, that one? Yeah, not doing that. I wish I had something to actually spark on that one. I would get it. Can you get a subtix from the scratcher? You can actually see the rewards. You can get a Sierra's ticket. But the rewards available are right here. So this is what's possible. So that's better than a surprise ticket. So yes, essentially yes, you can get a surprise ticket. But something even better than that. But this is the full list. Anyone who hits Sierra must die. You don't know if you should spend your roulette on this man or start your classic spark. Depends on what you can get from classic, right? Like for me, I don't value classic very highly because there's not much I can actually get from there. You.
現実なんて捨て去りましょう。
I personally like the pulling on general character rate-ups because sometimes I just get characters like this, which is sort of nice. I wish the id track wasn't separated into. Cygames EN. We're celebrating the launch. You get an acrylic keychain set. One winner will receive a 1TB Valve Steam Deck OLED. Like and repost. Is Dark Katura still used? Yes. In fact, Dark Katura is one of the best characters in the element. I recommend checking out my Annie ticket page there. For... what's it called? For recommendations. That goes for both your seasonal scams if you decide to buy that. And your anniversary ticket. Did you apply for the Relink DLC beta? Yes, I did, and I got in. We'll see if I have time to play. Time to go to work. Bye, Juno. When is the beta? It's like 13th, I think. So Friday. I don't know if that's PST, which would mean it's like Saturday for me. Anyone else playing the beta with me? I want to. DY doesn't want to play with us. I want to play with you. I'm surprised. I feel like I saw everyone get in. Yeah, it looks like most people who applied got in. How do these betas work? Is it like a fresh account? Maybe they give you like a pre-built character. You know, looking at this glossary page, it might be... maybe it's worth it too. I don't know how much stuff should be here, right? That's the thing. Like, because like there's some random ass ones like GDA. No one's saying GDA. GTA? Sure. GDA? Nobody says GDA. It says guaranteed double attack. Nobody cares about that, right? At least I think so. Zenith EX, a sub-skill that can only be learned when a particular class has been mastered. These EX skills can be equipped to other... Okay, like this. Like, I have no idea what this even means. Zenith perk. Zerka. Like, Zerka's fine. An acronym for Zenith point. What's Zenith points? So yeah, there might be some trimming needed here. EMP. Is it just EMP? M2, M2.5, but no M3. Yeah, obviously these pages aren't super kept up to date, and people come up with language all the time. Do we need to craft every single ultimate? No, you don't. You don't. Speaking of the beta, does anyone know where to find it in your Steam library? Additional glossary resource. I don't know what this is. It was last updated in 2017. I think it only shows up once the preload starts. Okay. Preload should be available now. Oh, okay. Foremost used the sword, katana, spear, and staff. Sword and staff are most used. Spear, katana. I think the rest sort of depends on what characters you have. What I suggest is going to your inventory of your characters and then clicking on spear for an element. And then being like, oh, how many fire spear characters do I have that I would use? Do the same in water, so on and so forth, right? So that's sort of what I would do. But sword and staff are the high recommendations. On the front page of advanced grids, we have some ultimate weapons, right? So these are most recommended just because they're used commonly. And then like dagger and bow is not recommended at all. And then pretty much the others sort of depend on what characters you have or what sort of teams you want to do. Like Ultima Harp is very common if you do like charge attack teams. In Wind, Fist is relatively common too. Yeah, it sort of just comes down to what characters you have. Brother, step up is classic 3. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, like nobody's saying break assassin these days, right? BA might have been a thing in the past, but I sort of don't think break assassin's a thing. I don't think I've heard backwater in years. Backwater Backwater is the direct translation of enmity. When you Google TL enmity, it says backwater or something. Who the fuck calls it bead? Where does it say bead? Oh, okay. Oh, no, I have actually heard people call it beads before. But yeah, it's not common at all. Weapon skill icon is named backwater too, yeah. I don't know. On a page like this, is it worth like updating things? It's probably just worth adding things, right? I don't know. Because, yeah, like, the hard thing about this is, like, I can say, hey, I don't use this, but then someone will be like, hey, I use it. Yeah, no real reason. It's just annoying because there's a lot of old terms, exactly. Hey, is there a guide somewhere on extended mastery skills to do on the character? So if you go to the character page, oftentimes, on the strategy page, you'll see a rough recommendation. So let's pretend that we're talking about Katura. On Katura, do you see at the top, there's this strategy button? You can click strategy. And then over here, there will be some recommended EMPs. You can use this as a rough guide. Keep in mind, EMPs you can easily switch around, so it's not a big deal if you choose the wrong thing, and it won't break your character or anything like that either. How good is Lyria from the event? Quite good. Quite good. Crit EMPs, yeah. Crit EMPs have sort of fallen out of favor. People generally tend to take attack or HP these days, but when you're just getting started, you don't know what you want to pick. It's fine to follow that. Once again, you can easily change it later on. Fighting with your back to the water. Preserve the old texts. Let's see what else is here. Like, do we really need to have farm? Or grind? Are these things really needed? Gacha. Do we really need to have gacha? Abbreviation of Gospel of Water and Sky. GWS. I've not seen that. Ix for Ixaba. Imposter. That's funny. Someone's making shit up. Did you guys know, by the way, chat room, on the wiki, you can search like nicknames and it'll take you to the characters as well. So if you go like Box Tato, it takes you to Charlotta. See? Blair Tato. Wow. Armored Chicken. Vasaraka. Cake doesn't work? Yeah, because there's an item called cake in the game. Too bad. Dokkan, Dokkan. Yeah, Dokkan works. Wiki. Yes. That one's also in. What if you put Jido? No, Jido doesn't come up with anything. I type in Dokkan for Clarice. Shinpi. Search Sleepy. No, Sleepy does not work. So yeah, a couple of these things. Boo. Someone has to go and add it. But yeah. Yeah, just some things are like... Some things are fine. I feel like character nicknames should just be a separate section entirely too. Because characters have so many nicknames. All the roulette stuff in Scratch is rigged. If by rigged you mean the animation doesn't matter, then yes. If by rigged you mean it is like everybody gets the same thing, then no. On some days, everybody gets the same things, which is the guaranteed 100 pull days. But yeah, the animation and the animation specifically is all just for show. The moment you decide whether you choose idealist or realist, your roles are determined. That was Lancer testing. It was... Lancer is less universal than Fighter Origin. which is a little disappointing, and I was hoping that it would look better for longer fights, but it definitely seems designed for shorter fights. For shorter fights, it looks fine, right? For some elements, like, it seems very good for one turn as well. For wind, I think it's an improvement over Apsaris, I think, for one turn stuff, but I think the main thing is that, like, for 3 turn, it seems better than Spartan. So yeah. Yeah, for short fights, I think it looks good. But I think there's a couple things holding the class back to make it, like, as good as FO in a general sense, and also that keeps it from being good in longer content. Did you see the Quattro NM200? No, I didn't. There. If this is not 2 turns, then it's not worth it immediately. It's 3 turns, it's not worth it. You do this if you don't have Lamarok, I think. Someone count how many buttons that is, real fast. Someone count how many buttons that is, and how many summons. Which one? The Quattro one. Don't know if I can ask this, but is the Sneck looking summon used? It's not a very strong summon. It has its uses. But as a new player, you can chuck it on your Earth teams and it'll do things for you. Hey, question, is using stones on 000 worth it, or do I just pray I can get dupes? At the moment, I only have 6 sunstones. You shouldn't stone anything right now because it's roulette. And in roulette, you might pull dupes. So don't stone anything right now. $13 buttons, 2 turns. Oh, 13 buttons, 2 summons, sorry. Also, to add to the stone thing, you should prioritize our karma summons first, yeah. If you start anything right now, you might look as silly as me and some friends when we stoned our primals back in 2018, then all promptly pulled dupes during the Xmas free draw. What is safe to get rid of in the inventory? So normal weapons in general are fine to get rid of. So here, let me show you a quick link here. I'll link it in chat too. But yeah, inventory management. This is in general what you do. So normal weapons, you can reserve. Sierra shop upgrades, I'm pretty sure Sierra's just gives this to you now, so you don't have to worry about you will just be given one copy. But all of these other ones you reserve or reduce once you have excess for SSRs, and same with SSR summons. These are all farmable things. So pretty much in general, you reserve for farmable things. And then for gacha things, in general, you reduce or you keep them if they're SSRs. So this does mean you have to be somewhat aware of where things come from, which is why when you pull from the roulette, it goes to your crate, and then you can actually organize within your crate. So if I bring up an alt account here real fast, when you pull from the gacha, they go to your crate like this here. And in your crate, you'll have a bunch of weapons and a bunch of summons and things like that. What you can do here is scroll down to the very bottom, and then assuming that your crate only has gacha weapons, which it should, then you can click reduce here, and then you can filter to just SRs. So with those, you can select, and then you can see that you're going to be reducing these gacha SR weapons. You can do that. But as for anything in your inventory, you can also do the same thing by going down to reduce, and then you can select which ones to reduce or reserve. In this case, like once again, for farmable things, you want to be reserving. Oh, that's not reserve. You want to be reserving. And then you can also click auto select if you have the sorted thing. So here you can select these things, and then it will automatically select all of these things when you click auto select. So as you can see, all the normal weapons and the rare weapons, I can use that, and I can reserve that like that. Fair warning about Sierra upgrade, those get sent to your crate. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I was curious about that. So this is the most annoying step, which I hope they get rid of one day, which is that to upgrade Sierra's shop, you need these items. The game gives you these items, but yeah, it sounds like it gets chucked to your crate. So just keep an eye out for when you get these items. I don't know exactly when that happens in Sierra's Academy. Anyways, what was I doing? Elo. We were comparing to the Quattro team, right? So yeah, if I do this, is this Earth? Okay, so what was it? 16 something. One, two, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. 9. Like, is this not just way better? What was the damage? 9. Like, it has to be significantly higher, right? How much is NM200 now? Guild War. Yeah. Like, yes, I'm not fighting against Yugi. I would do less damage than normal, but looking at their damage, it's like we'll say add 2 for Vampy, just to be sure. But that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm pretty sure I can cut buttons. So it's sort of being 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 buttons, 3 summons, and it's, yeah. And I'm, like I said, I'm pretty sure I can cut buttons, and we don't have to deal with targeting nonsense and swap with Catherine. If you check out Steam later and do enough of Sierras, can you note down what side stories are different? Yeah, we'll see. I was planning on checking out Steam today, but we have the anniversary event soon, tonight. And I also want to... I think it's important to get this new player guide out as soon as possible. So what I'm considering is maybe stopping stream for lunch, have lunch, work on the video, come back for the anniversary event. CT skin Ogi looks nice, it does. Yeah, event isn't until 8 my time. Hi, new player here. I just started and was looking at the draw section and I saw this 12th birthday star premium draw set. Is that the anniversary ticket I posted on the wiki? Yes, it is. 12th... Wait, hold up. Never mind. 12th birthday star, not the star. This is the anniversary ticket. 12th birthday draw set is the anniversary ticket. The star premium draw set is something else, but you can also use the anniversary ticket to help with your decisions on what to fill up the star premium draw set with as well. The difference here is that this is a selector. The star premium draw set, I'll bring it up on stream. The star premium. The star premium is not a selector. It's one random one out of a pool of 10. And you get to choose the pool. So you get to choose which ones to put in, but you get 1 out of the 10 randomly. The 12th birthday draw set, you get to pick one. But you can use my anniversary ticket page to help you decide what to put in to the list, right? So you can use that to help there. Did I buy the 10 SSR? Yeah. I got 4 non-moons and 2 of them were gold moon weapons, funnily enough. Hi stream, I'm considering going Primal Wind. I'm already Primal Dirt and Water. I have all the pieces with the exception of Wolfred Swords and Grimstick. Okay. I can pick it from Step Up. You shouldn't spark anything from your Step Ups until Roulette's over. Because, like for example, Flash is coming and Roulette's going to have Flash. You might pull Grimnir there, which means that you can pick something else with your spark. So feel free to do up to 300 pulls, but don't choose your spark target. I have everything from there. Well, I don't know what to say then. Yeah, well, yeah, then you don't have a choice, right? If you already have everything else and you don't need any extra copies of something else, then yeah. Gacha Ing, hello Thunder. Just be warned, if you're free to play or even a low spender, keeping a third primal up to date is hard, yeah. It is. Is Classic Step Up even a good pull? Classic Spark, I think, is purely for the... Okay, wait, hold on. Classic Step Up Spark, not regular Classic. But specifically this paid promotion, I think, is good if you are missing Belial or the Primarchs, because they are sparkable. If you are missing Mikhail or Gabriel or whatever, or you're missing Belial, I can understand. Right? I think that's the main incentive to buy this one. You kind of gave up going primal in general? Yep. Like, you don't need to go primal to do anything in the game. And, like, take it from me, who is primal in 3 elements, it is more of a headache sometimes to keep up to date. In fact, I am not up to date in, like, on my main element at the moment. I wanted to ask, is there anything special I need to do to host revans other than Diaspora Gamma 100? No, not really. I have a how to host page on the wiki, which is actually updated, by the way. Yeah, how to host. And yeah, pretty much Diaspora is the only one. Diaspora is the only revans raid where you actually have to do something else. Request backup only once you hit Gamma 100. Is the paid promotion worth it if you have them uncapped? 0 star. Is the paid promotion worth it if you have the summons at 0 star? It depends on how many sunstones you have and how many sunstones you want to save, and how much 5,000 yen is worth to you. I can't answer those questions. Are you telling me I can participate in Vesusia raid with a full free-to-play magnet grid without feeling I'm griefing? Yes. Funny thing, I apparently have everything on Classic Draw 3. Yeah. I think Classic Draw, a lot of people are going to have... Like, a lot of people who've been playing the game for a while probably have a decent chunk of what's there. A lot of Vesusia is just knowledge checks and knowing when to stop. Yep, exactly. You can participate in every single raid and not grief as Magna. You bought Classic without thinking. Thank God you needed the summon still. Okay, yeah, that's good. Chat, I'm not gonna lie. It did cross my mind to buy some of these things just to fucking get them off my screen. Like, I've currently got the power. Like, this is... This one here, right? This is the full new play experience. Hello, what is this? If you're a new player, you log into the game, this is what you see. How is that helpful? I don't get it. It's not helpful. It's helpful for business. It really isn't. I honestly think it's not. Because people are going to see this and they're just going to not know what to do, be overwhelmed, and then close the game and not return. I really think that some of these things, firstly, should be in the shop. I guess this is. I suppose that is. Why not the other shit? Hello? Like, firstly, it should be in the quote-unquote shop, right? And then secondly, I think some of these banners can at least be separated. So for example, right, have like a button here which is like events, and then have a button here which is like promotions or something, I don't know, right? And if they want to put the promotions first, go for it. But at least make it clear which one of these are promotions and which ones are events. Like, why the fuck are these three here in between, sandwiched in between 10 tickets and then like more purchasable things that like, I don't get it. They need a tutorial for each picture. I mentioned this in another streamer yesterday, in another streamer's chat yesterday, but I was like, the fact that I have to create so many guides is sort of insane, right? Like some gacha games, there are like people making guides of the most basic, like, from like the most basic like information. But in Granblue, it's like actually needed. When is Andrew getting at it? April sometime, I believe. Having a divider that labels them. Exactly. Something that at least helps you differentiate what's what. And the other thing is, it's not clear which of these are like free and which ones aren't. Unless you click it and then go in. And like on that new one, once you click the first couple, let's pretend I'm a new player. And I'm looking at this for the first time. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then it'll say like buy with Steam coins. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I don't want to do that. Let's see, what's this other thing? Buy with Steam, oh, okay, I don't want to do that. And then like maybe go to the third one. It's like, I'll buy with Steam coins. Okay, all right. So these are all just buying things. Never mind. I'm not going to check the rest. And then guess what? Right here, it's going to be like free thing, event. Like, yeah, you mentally sign out by the time you've like maybe read 2. And it's like, okay, I don't need to worry about this. So at least if it was like separated, it's like, oh, I can ignore the paid stuff for now. Let me just check out the events or something, right? Then, yeah. So UI needs a lot of work. Hopefully they get a bunch of feedback because I think at this point, right, there are limitations because Cygames is an old game and it is like a browser game, but they can definitely do more with it. They can definitely at least put dividers or like a tab or something, right? Like we know tabbers can exist because like in places like this, there's literal tabbers, right? There could be a button that's like, oh, it shows all the paid promotions. Oh, it shows the current events, right? You could at least do that. And then visually, there wouldn't be 20 things on the screen all at once. People are not afraid to spend money if they like the game. You don't need to shove it in their face. I think it would help if many of these things were like just smaller or like in a different button. Like I'm not saying like I like modern gacha game UI either. Like I'm thinking about a game like Nikkei. And Nikkei has a bunch of these things, but they're all like tiny little fucking icons that scroll by, and you have to like click them individually, and like that sort of sucks too. I'm not gonna lie, but at least it's less overwhelming than this, right? I think they could stand to, if they don't want to put like paid stuff in the shop. I understand. Make another button. Go like GBF Coin Shop or MOBA Coin Shop or whatever, right? Differentiate it like paid shop, and then at least then you can see all the promotions there and then things like that, right? How much easier is it to Pearlbot? Does Hexa get if I find some free ones until I craft a Draconic Provenance? How much easier is it to Pearlbot? It's easier, and it's okay if you do that, yeah. I would generally only do it on your host though. Hexa's too fast, you get scared. Yeah, Hexa can be very fast these days. It can be. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. Hexa's great now because there's no pressure to clear 50 or even 70. Yep, Hexa's in a much better spot. Not trying LO in this. Oh yeah, I guess the LO has skill damage, huh? I think not having the diamond fill is sort of bad though, Munching. LO doesn't have diamond fill, right? I don't remember it. Is it possible to get the same weapon from a grind ticket 3 years in a row? Yes. Before that, it was weird because I'd have to wait around so I could get the omens to show due to lockout keeping me from moving if I wasn't careful. Close to being able to do Dark Primal, but you don't know if you actually want to go Dark Primal. Yeah. Remember, you don't have to go Primal just because you have the pieces for it. Or any Primal for that matter. Wanted to ask you if you've tried Lance Origin Burst. Yes. I think I saw a Fire Magna setup. I've seen Fire Primal setups. I've personally not seen Magna. But Fire seems quite good for this class, yes. Did you see streamer Michael and Ludwig are doing a tip to tip again? Yes, I heard. I don't know what country. What country are they doing? Sort of exciting. They're doing China. I heard Ludwig planning about that a while ago. It's not actually tip to tip because China's massive, right? It's north to south, yeah. Very cool. One of my favorite things I've ever watched. The Japan tip to tip was so funny. It was really good. It was really, really, really good. Is Mega still a must-have for Dark? So I have my anniversary ticket page, and you can look at the relevant seasonals that are currently being used. Nah, that's not what I wanted to send. There we go. My favorite anime series of that time. Trapped between Atom or and a bunch of dirt units. Yeah, that's that. That's sort of how dirt is.
これでおしまい。多分こんな感じ。
Does MC have to be on the team? Yes. MC is the constant in all your teams. There are some classes where MC can swap out, but in general, yes, MC is in all of your teams.
お姉様に任せときな。
ここだけの日さあ
ここだ。ここだ。いや。お姉様に任せときな。これでおしまい。そこそこここだ。そこ。
MC is literally your strongest character. Could have Vesusia Ray with 6 Magnas clear. I think it's already been done, yeah.
任せときな。これでおしまい。
If you played other gacha games, GBF isn't the one where MC is dead weight, yeah. MC is often the strongest. Is it normal to be able to summon 2 times per turn? No, you only usually get 1 summon per turn. The only way to get 2 summons is by using Lyria in your party, whether it's the SR or the SSR version that's currently available in the event, or you have a summon called Yatima. Normally you only get 1 summon per turn.
お姉様に任せときな。ぶっ殺される覚悟。
Is Makura or Horus? Is Horus really needed for Agastio or any other HL? Horus is very prevalent in high difficulty raids for light, yes. But you can also say the same thing for Makura, wherever she's used, which is a lot of different places. I think the best thing to do here is, if you like Makura better, I would not fault you for picking Makura. She's like an extremely good target as well. Makura is also generally more useful in regular content than Horus. Horus is when you want to use charge attack teams, and charge attack teams are usually reserved for the hardest content in the game. Whereas Makura is more universal. She's used across other types of content too.
ごめんね
多分こんな感じ。
With both frontline Lyria and Yatima, how many do you get? No, you only get 2. It does not stack. For some reason, there's so many doomed Cosmos setups. Is there a point to pulling more than one of the same character, like other gacha games? No, there are no constellations in Granblue. So the character that you get when you pull the character is complete. There's no parts of them hiding the kit behind other things. What they do come with, though, is their weapon. And in Granblue, the weapon is... So, okay, just as a quick background, grids influence how strong your characters are. Each weapon in Granblue has a weapon skill. Like this one gives a small boost to attack and HP, along with this skill I'm not going to explain because it's too complicated. Alright. These affect the characters in your party. Right? Gacha characters come with a weapon associated with them. The first time you get the weapon, you get the character, but every other time you get the weapon, you just get the weapon and a gold moon. Sometimes those weapons are useful in grids that use gacha weapons, which we call primal grids. So my grid here is comprised of weapons from the gacha. The main reason people like to go primal grids is because they view them stronger than magna grids, and they are if they're properly built. If you don't properly build them, it ends up being worse than a free-to-play grid. So as a new player, you shouldn't worry about the gacha weapons. Pretty much when you get a dupe, you get a gold moon, and the gold moons, you can do things with those later on when you're more experienced with the game. So hopefully that answers your question. Basically, there is no benefit to the character itself. It just indirectly means that, or it just means that in the future, if you want to go a primal grid, then if that weapon is good in said primal grid, then you might want multiple copies. I'm trying to find other Wind characters who specialize in CA spamming. Katura, Hatzelia, Siete, Mirren, Schooled, Alea. There's a bunch. Charlotta. Yeah, there's a bunch. Lyria now as well. The free Lyria. Not going to talk about this character. Smiley face. Raphael. All the characters I've been able to pull, I've been able to put in their weapons in the grid. Yes, you can, but the weapon that you get with the character doesn't mean that it's good for the character. Right? So what I suggest is when you play the game, when you reach chapter 7 or 8, you get access to something called Sierra's Academy. Sierra's Academy teaches you about weapon grids and how they sort of work. I recommend doing that to get a good understanding. I don't know why my page is loading, but I recommend doing that to get a better understanding of how grids work. Hello, where is my thing? Yeah, like one thing I did when I was new to the game is I thought that I had to put the weapon the character came with in my grid, but that's not the case at all. And I think your GBF is dead. Yeah, I think it's fine now. Are the Sierra cart weapons used? The ones you get from the academy? Some of them are very good. And at the end of the day, they're grids that get you farming the better ones. The academy, yeah. Academy is very good. What's the academy page again? Omiken's test page? I just want to talk about it as I'm showing it. Yeah, these ones. Test 2. So, by the end of Academy, for Phi, you'll have this grid. This is a very good starter grid. The Academy will give you these weapons, and what I encourage you to do is to read the weapon skills, to understand why they've made this grid the way it is. Right? And pretty much a lot of these grids will have similar weapons. Like you see that there's 4 copies of this weapon here. And it's because this weapon gives you attack and crit, and this skill gives you more attack the lower your HP is. The fire grid also has stamina, which is more attack the higher your HP is. So this is more of a balancing act in this grid. And then the water one will be a little bit more different. And the earth one will be a little bit more different too. Right? This one has stamina, right? Stamina meaning you get more attack the higher your HP is. And then this weapon gives you HP. So it's easier to maintain a higher level of HP. So things like that. So you'll get given these grids, and these grids are really good. And pretty much this is the step before the next farmable step, which is M3s. And M3s make up the foundation of endgame free-to-play grids. Yeah, what Cactua said. Sierra's Academy is your ticket to skipping older raids so that you can immediately start farming current generation raids. Exactly. Dude, Sierra came out as soon as I finished farming M2. I was low-key salty. That is very unfortunate. Do formal characters appear in the banner throughout Roulette? No, they don't. Oh, make side games let me somehow spawn another Bride Keeper. Yeah, it's called your anniversary ticket. And then if not, it's called Sparking when June Formal comes back. And why do I have to consider Summer Cassius? I mean, you don't have to. I think the character's relatively niche still, and the weapon is alright, but I think you can get by without it. That was my first one, DY. Yeah, so listen to the other option I said. You gotta listen. Wait till June and spark it there. Easiest Ellie to learn Far Zero. Assuming you have all the tools, Wind. But I don't know what tools you have. Depends on what characters you have at the end of the day, right? Because Wind is easy if you have Siete, Katura, Katsalia, something like that. But if you don't have those, then it might be a little bit more tricky. I don't know what else I get. Rhine. I don't know what you're missing. Octavia will save us. Nico's been on this copium, Uveris, that Octavia is going to be water, and that she's going to be a very similar weapon to Volfrid. Thoughts? Tay says, I think Nico's right. Nah, that's Cope. Thoughts on Andromeda versus Hunting, assuming you don't have both? I think they're very different content-wise. As in, like, Andromeda is clearly for charge attack teams and Hunting is not. I think it depends on what sort of content you enjoy doing. Andromeda currently has a stronghold on endgame, like the hardest rates in the game. So that's something you can consider. Hunting is good for Far and Hexa, but Andromeda is good for all three, including Vesusia. But Hunting is better for regular general content too, so. Because Andromeda is an Ogi weapon, Ogi is inherently slow for regular farming. Yeah, Wizard Andromeda soon, but we don't know what Wizard is like. But also what Captain said, these weapons have announced updates coming to them. We don't know how the updates change them. I think now is the time to be patient and not spend your moons until we see what the updates do, and then you can decide then. Anyways, chat, I think I'm actually going to do what I said, which is I'm going to send you guys over to Tech. Tech is a crewmate who will be able to answer a bunch of new player questions too. But I'm going to go get some lunch and work on my new player guide, which I think we really need based on how things are going. And I'll be back for the anniversary event. Okay. So I'll be back for the anniversary event later. So I'll see you guys then, right? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. I'll rest my voice as well while I work on the video. Catch you guys later. Goodbye. Bye-bye.